Hello and welcome back, folks. Once more we go into the fray because this is the lower bracket round 3. One heck of a rematch between Bren Esports Victress and X10Crit Female. We are your casters. Hey, I'm Quack and this is KeyCast. I'm not quite sure what's about to happen, but you can bet that the X10Crit girls are out for blood because Bren knocked them into the lower brackets.
Yeah, so that's actually really surprising because when we saw Open 1, it was X10 that knocked them to the lower bracket, which is actually really interesting because they also got the rematch yet again, and X10 won that rematch. And, you know, TC Arise back then, now Bren, they cemented themselves as number 3. But after knocking X10 down, kind of looked like a pretty good number 2 because they took one map off of Alter Ego Celeste as well, and this time around they're gonna have to play yet another rematch, and I'm sensing a rivalry starting to form between these two teams because they somehow just keep drawing each other on the brackets, and Bren looked like they had the upper hand, at least in the earlier part of Open 2. We'll have to see between the two. Let's review the two rosters again because there have been changes since Open 1.
Yeah, let's take a look, why don't we? Starting out with Bren Esports Victress. We got Alexi, we got Zinni. They love to ape together strong. You got Mikasi, who's kind of this new duelist that they've added as well. Tends to play extremely well on the Rays, but of course not on every single map that she comes in. We got Ali as well. Twirly, we saw her on Breeze as Reina. And then lastly, Shirazi, the dedicated controller.
Yeah, Shirazi, also the MVP of the previous series. Dedicated controller doesn't matter, gets all the frags anyway. So Bren look really strong because they have a 6th player between Mikasi and Twirly. At least that's what we saw in the previous series. They played on different maps, but X10Crit, same thing for these girls. They've been playing as this team for the longest time. They played on their Mad Army. Ginny was brought in. This lineup has been absolutely lethal and has been a clear top 2. But that's being challenged right now because only one of these two teams will even make it to the top 3. They have to play against each other. X10Crit and Bren, one of them will eliminate one another this time.
As fate would have it, as Destiny's Child would have it, I don't know. But they got to face off against once more, and only one of them can go up against Team SMG, who we just saw and lost in such a heartbreaking defeat in the upper bracket finals. Only one of these two teams will actually get to proceed in towards the lower bracket finals for tomorrow. And even then, that is one heck of a journey, because if we compare this to what we saw last month, X10Crit, they had a lower bracket run. They did get knocked down by well, not knocked down. They knocked Bren down, but then they lost somewhere towards the top in upper bracket finals, and they managed to claw their way back in through lower brackets, but that was a very, very arduous and long game. They had to go against Alter Ego Celeste without much of a break, honestly, and they still went all the way. They managed to take Alter Ego Celeste to 5 maps. That's the only team that has done that. for the first time in a long, long while. And if that doesn't say that they are top 3, I don't know what else will. But going up against Bren now, I really don't know who's on top, man. We have to watch to find out.
Yeah, we'll really have to see. And of course, we're going to hop onto map picks very soon. So we're going to have to see. I mean, one thing we've noticed is that map pools used to be very, very one-dimensional. It's teams have a specific map that they want to play or ban, but they always start on defense. We're starting to see that change as teams improve, figure out their identity, have a different agent mixes, and we're starting to see a very different map pool right now from what we just saw. We saw Breeze, Haven, Fracture, and now it's Split, Ascent, Icebox.
This split pick is is a bit of a run back. Ascent and Icebox, I think there's something that's a little bit more familiar to X10Crit. Ascent is a map that's incredibly well loved by all teams, but a little bit more so in the Thai region, just because for whatever reason they have a lot more experience on it. They are able to perform a lot better on it. But Split, that's the first one that we've got. Starting out on defense is going to be X10Crit female. And this is exactly what they had on, I believe, day 1. 13-3. That was the number. X10Crit female only won 3 rounds. And Bren Esports Victress are picking the exact same map. Can we expect a different outcome?
It's hard to say. Like, you can't really retool that much within 2 days, but we've seen teams be able to adjust anyway. So we'll have to see. I mean, the best teams are able to adapt, but Bren just looked too strong right now. We saw them earlier today. We saw them give Alter Ego Celeste a run for the money. They just look like they're on form. Like, it might not even be necessarily that Bren is better than X10 right now. It might just be, you know, like, there's skill level kind of fluctuates. Maybe this open, they're streaking a little bit and X10 is a little bit of a slump. But again, like you mentioned, don't cut X10 out. But these two teams are really forming a rivalry because in 2 opens, they will, after this series, they will have faced each other for 4 best of 3s, which is absolutely insane to think about.
It's it definitely is something. But wow, I just can't wait to see what we have for agent compositions. I mean, this is for Bren to pick the exact same map. Like that's like throwing X10 a challenge. Like, do you think you can honestly take us down again after this rematch? Like, let's see what happens, right? But so far, I mean, what Bren Esports had initially, wow, they might actually just go for the same thing. Shirazi on Brimstone, Zinni on the Sage, Makasi on Raze. They had a Killjoy as well. I mean, excuse me, a KO as well. And yeah, also a Killjoy. On the other hand, oh my, this is if Muffin goes for Jet, and she very likely will, this is a straight up mirror match from what we, not mirror match, a straight rematch from what we saw on day 1. Neon is a big question mark.
Will they?
I doubt it.
No,
but I wouldn't rule it out.
I would, yeah, same. I wouldn't rule it out. Mikasi, she's also great under Raze. That's the thing. Raze has been kind of like the de facto duelist. Okay, there you go.
On Split, yeah, it makes a little bit more sense. Paint shells you can clear out in the back of B site. You can even clear out back of A site towards elbow if you know how to line up your paint shells. And the boombot can really get so much information, especially towards a part of the map like middle, for example. Neon can work too, but you need to have very specific routes to pull off stuff like that, pathings and whatnot.
But hey, I'm going to point this out from the previous series that Bren played earlier today. They're playing the similar flush a corner out lineup that they had on Ascent against Zolmeraki. They have the Brim for the Molly, the Killjoy for the Molly, the Raze for the paint shells, and the KO, the Fragment. And that's even more effective on Split, I feel, than it was in Ascent, because the corners here are all just flushed out. And I think that they know what they're doing. they know that if they pick split, most likely they're gonna pick defense first. X10 are gonna pick defense first, and they're gonna go attack, and they're ready for that.
Running the exact similar or same idea, concept of a strategy. And I think that's part of the reason why they were able to perform so well against X10Crit female. Like Elu said, they just really dismantled whatever defenses that X10Crit were trying to set up. And if this is the exact same pick that they've got going on, the exact same agents, unless X10Crit female have somehow like retooled, like you said, if they somehow figured out a way to set up different defensive strategies, different traps and whatnot, I don't see this going any other way. I mean, Bren Esports Victress, they could just run the same playbook and expect the same results.
So what I feel like, they're running the exact same lineup, I believe. X10.
Yeah.
It's Cypher, KO, Sage, Omen, Jet. Yeah, it's the exact same lineup.
Exact same. Both sides.
Both sides, both starting sides are the same as well. So I think that one thing that this Bren lineup is ready for are default spots. So they probably researched their opponents. They're probably like, yeah, they like playing here, there. They're gonna clear those corners. But what they might not be ready for are counter initiates or counter pushes. Maybe like if they start off with a paranoia and push out, would that nullify the push from Bren? That might be something they can consider. So I'm not sure what X10Crit. I mean, if they're going into this map without a plan, which I doubt, that would be insane.
I mean, look at that, Marquis. Down A ramp, you're absolutely right. They're already going to set up for those pushes. This is something that Bren might not expect at all, but here we go. Round 1, X10Crit on the defense. And they are already trying to block off middle, preventing Bren from pushing up in towards mailroom.
Yeah, that's already a lot of information. Oh, that's a team blind there. Ali takes Polly down, and Alyssa is gonna try to run away, but takes a bullet to the head through the smoke. And Bren, they have a free sight right now. There's nobody on B at all.
A little bit unfortunate with the team paranoia. Trying to run away without any slow orbs as well. They could just continue to run forward, but here comes Ginny. Here comes Baby TZ looking for those heads, and they will collect on them. There's the third. We only have 2 more. A little bit of a pop flash to secure a safe entry down, but I believe those drops can be heard. A bit of a cyber cage to try to secure safe entry as well, but oh no, the defender's spot is still fairly open. Ginny walks up front with the ghost though and secures that headshot. And here comes Zinni now. Comes in from the back, gets the first one. Baby TZ forced to get off the spike, and a right click seals the deal. That's a classic.
That's definitely a classic. Jumping right clicks. It's been nerfed, but at that range, it's super effective. And Bren sneak away with that win, despite X10Crit looking to kind of bring it back. It was a 3v5, I think. They tried to take it back, almost got it, but they just didn't have enough time.
A little bit unfortunate. Perhaps if Baby TZ got off the spike just 1 second earlier, I'm not too sure. It's a lot of these things that you can always say back and forth, but when it comes down to it, the fact that they brought that from a 2v5 to a 2v1 is still pretty admirable, and they are continuing to try different setups, different advances, despite being on defense. Hopefully this is something that will help them out.
Enemy suppressed.
Again, it's the same exact rematch from day 1. But today, only one of them will be able to make it through.
Yeah, this is the lower bracket after all, so there's more at stake. Even more than their first matchup, but they've been through this before. Open 1, like you mentioned, they also face each other in the lower bracket. And it looks like Bren loved mid on split. Oh my god, the swings! 3 people swinging out. Immediately takes all the defenders on heaven down, and B is open yet again. It's the exact same thing that they did in the first round.
Marquis. That's the rumbling. It's coming for you. You gotta beware. They just rush down mid, and all of a sudden the turret takes down Muffet. That is so unlucky. A Spectre as well. And this is looking to shape up as a flawless win for Bren Esports Victress. rumbling on through one spot of the map, and now all of a sudden they've conquered B site. Baby TZ with nothing but a classic, maybe one spy cam. There's not much else that she can do.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna try to get a kill.
What?
She does get one. But
Okay.
I don't think she can get much more as Shirazi is gonna take it down. Bren, Victress get away with 4 members alive, coming into a comfortable bonus round.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's a nice little classic kill as well, getting the first dink and then the second shot to finish it off. But when it comes down to it, Bren Esports Victress, that's how prepared they are. They love this middle ground, and they've got the paint shells to play along with it too. They know how to play and execute off of the agents that they have.
Yeah, and they have this game plan with the agents that they have, like you mentioned, like what they did in Ascent. I like this lineup from them. In fact, I think this lineup is pretty innovative, if I could put it that way, because it's a lot of corners that they can clear.
The Brimmy?
Yeah, I mean the Brimmy, they swing off of the Stimmy, and then they
The
clear
Molly?
the corners with the Molly, exactly. And basically every single corner is cleared out, and they have the tools for that. And they're so good at doing it. They're starting to make their own brand of gameplay, and I love it.
The paint shells from Akasi.
Look at
It's
that.
looking to be pretty good. They're starting to clear out the back of sight, but still with the rifles up on a bit of a sniper's nest by rafters, Muffin can easily take them out. So they have to be a little bit more careful about their approach. Not to mention Sage player right beneath. Oh, Bren just might have to think about a different approach now. They stream back in towards the middle. They still have 30 seconds. They need to make a move, but they get to decide it. A or B.
Yeah, they want to damage them as much as they can. It looks like it's going to be a B for sure. There's no time to rotate anymore. 17 seconds left. Looking a bit reminiscent of Dol Meraki here with the way they're taking their time. As Ginny mows him down, it's all down to Ali, who tries to push from heaven. She's going to have to die here if she wants to buy a rifle the next round. Or she can just take their rifle. Oh, she takes 2 down! Oh, my lord! She can upgrade
Get
to
a
a
rifle.
rifle.
There we go.
She's fine saving this. She took 2 rifles away from X10F as well. They might not have gotten the spike down, but they took 4 members of X10F down. And Bren, they saved their rifle. 4 of them will have enough cred spy. You know, X10F, 4 of their members lost rifles there.
Hurts the economy to say the least. I wonder what they'll have to buy up this round, X10. On the other hand, though, fairly impressive. Ali aiming down the sights with a Spectre, and you can still kind of shoot that fairly accurately, getting all headshots. This 2-1 now, however, and that's a lot different compared to what we saw on day 1. A little bit of a one-way, too. Could be good for the time being, at the very least just to stall and slow them down as they push into sight, but this lockdown is providing so much value, there's no choice but to back out completely.
Yeah, and she knows that there'll be mollies, there'll be paint shells coming into the corner, so that she can't hide in that corner. That's why she actually jumps out of there. So 5v5 right now. It's going to be a very difficult retake for X10F. They're playing on Heaven, they're playing on Spawn, but the post plants have already been set up for Bren Victress.
Just look at that as well. Underneath the ropes. They're waiting for that pop flash. Mikasi gets blinded, and all of a sudden Shirazi will be able to do a little bit of damage all the way from Garage. Back aside as well as Zinni finds the headshot, but gets blocked off by a bit of a fragment. Jumps to the top so she doesn't get affected by it. Now just waiting for them to push through, as there is a bit of a crossfire setup. Ali supporting her teammate. Bren secures the 3rd win.
That was super quick thinking from Zinni. Sees the fragment, immediately jumps up the corner, understanding that a molly won't hit her up there, that she's safe when she's on the high ground. And that high ground was just enough time for Ali to swing. And look at that. Once she sees the fragment, she just goes up, and she knows that she's safe.
It's a bit of crosshair displacement as well. It's a very smart move. A tiny thing, but one that secured them the victory, I'm sure. Ali with this crossfire setup as well. Now though, they'll be executing into the A site. X10 on an eco. Surely this works, but it's classic in their face. Mikasi does not care, slaps it off. And of course, Satchel's up top now.
There.
Ooh. Do they expect it? They heard the explosion going off for sure. She just walks out the other side of the sky smoke, sees two of them, sprays down the first, and all of a sudden decides to go into screens where she finds yet another. That's a third kill now. A little bit of support coming from Ali, who was lurking towards the back of ramps the entire time. And Bren are securing their 4th win.
You'd think Split was an attacker-sided map with the way Bren are playing. It's just so clean. The executes are just so good. X10Crit
This is
just
they're
struggling.
They're making music with the way that Bren are playing. Honestly, Sky Smoke, Satchels to the top, and Ali as well, just lurking behind. Is beautiful.
Yeah, it's just so good. Bren, they really have things figured out. You can see why they picked Split. Like, sometimes teams pick a map and then they kind of struggle with it. But Bren, whenever they get their map pick, you just see that they're so ready for it. They know what they're doing. Their executes are super clean. They have a set plan for each round, and it's showing time and time again. And look, they even know how to change the tempo of the game. There's no quick execute this time around. It's a slow default. They're feeling things out. And X10F, they're not finding anything. They're starting to just get lost here because they don't know. Hey, wait, there's no rush on either side, and they're just scrambling around right now.
Yeah, and definitely discouraged from trying anything too courageous as well. Just hiding towards the back of the sites, towards the back of stairs. Bren are the ones that get to decide how they want to play this map. And if they get that, I have a feeling it's going to be something that works out in their favor. Here comes those mollies that we were talking about. They're blocking and clearing out all of these areas. Stairs is completely negated now. They've even dodged that paranoia. All they need is to find these duels, and they will. The trades come forward. Now they've gotten the site. All that they really need to do now is to hold it post-plant, but oh no. Despite all that utility, X10 has recovered, and now they're coming back in to retake. Mikasi has to land those shots. She gets the first, but not the second. Baby TZ and Muffin strike back. It's 2-4.
They didn't have enough time for that, and I think that X10 are onto something. They realize that if they don't play the default spots, they're not going to get flushed out by utility.
Aha.
It's some big brain there. Look at Ginny pushing up the smoke. As it dissipates, she gets one. There's a trade from Baby TZ as well, and Muffin with a spike plant refusal, or denial rather.
I like refusal.
Yeah, no spike plant for you.
But you're absolutely right. That does work out. I mean, if they just avoid those default spots, wait for a little bit, have a bit of patience, set up for retakes. If it works out, it works great. And with the fact that they do have a KO in the form of Ginny, there's a bit of potential there as well. You can pop flash, you can use the fragment as well. Bren are going to have to rethink and be a little bit more careful about their approach.
Yeah, oh, look at that. The knife off of the tripwire destruction. I think X10F are really... okay, they're pushing forward
I like
too.
the judge.
Oh. I like to push forward as well, but unfortunately Zinni was there and she was ready. Her crosshair was placed properly at head level. I don't think she saw Baby TZ there, did she? Oh, Baby TZ, the angle, so unlucky for Zinni. Her elbow was peeking out ever so slightly. Kasi uses the showstopper, trying to find... Oh, kill? No kill. But Baby TZ does get taken down. Ginny is going to get that kill, but Ali is there for the trade. Bren right now at our man advantage, but Alyssa does have the rest. None of her teammates are safe to res though.
Planted.
Here comes the judge.
Here we go. Oh, the range isn't quite there. It's all up to Polly, all the way from screens, getting denied by Alexi. 2-5. X10, unfortunately, just not quite able to defend, and there it is. Timeout being called by their coach.
Yeah, this push forward, I like it, but I think they should have swung together a bit tighter to get that trade.
30 seconds.
And then they just weren't able to hold the sights. I think Bren are just playing too disciplined right now.
Yeah, just a little bit too much. At the same time, perhaps in that round, given that they had a judge, just wasn't really gonna work out. At the very least, depending on what they have, they need to kind of play to that strength. If they have a judge, if they have control over their half of the map, maybe not really push out. They kind of just needed to play out Bren. And this is a team that loves to play down the timer. So maybe use that to their advantage.
Yeah, well, right now, I don't know, X10, they seem to have the firepower still. But Bren are just so disruptive in terms of their utility, in terms of their exit. It's just, what's going on? It's like everything's exploding. There's a fire on my left, there's nano swarms on my right, and then, oh, there's a nade coming in, and then it's just like, what do you even do? It's just so much stimulus. And for a game like this, every single bit of information that floods your head makes you distract, makes you aim a little bit worse. And
Cortisol.
yeah, it's just everything's exploding. What's going on? I can't hear anything. And then all of a sudden, here comes Bren.
Get that adrenaline, you get that shell shock. I kind of like what X10F are trying to pull off now. Not sure if you saw their buys, but there were a couple of Buckies and one Judge.
Yep.
Let's see if that works out now. Holding the off angle, Alyssa trying to bait for those peaks, trying to bait for them to push up front, where supposedly they would walk in towards Muffin's crosshairs. But Bren are so cautious.
In an ideal world, they run up, but like you mentioned, Bren, they're cautious. Oh, they actually, there was a nano swarm. You see, the corners are not safe. These shotguns are not safe.
She doesn't want to fire off just yet. She wants them to think that they don't have shotguns. It's now just playing down the timer. You got about 30 seconds left, Bren. What are you going to do?
30 seconds left.
You got to make their move. Hitting in towards the middle. They're trying to pull off a B split, but oh my god, Alexi triple spray in towards mail room. She's gotten all those shotgun players, and all of a sudden the sight's gone, and all of a sudden BTC comes up the middle, but she doesn't find anything. Oh my god.
It's like the Terminator, right? Your KO, you just gun everyone down.
What?
KO actually has a voice line that says "kill all your opponents,"
which also
stands for KO.
Oh.
Yeah. Definitely what happened there. Bren are just dominating right now. And X10F, they've had this res on Alyssa for quite a while now. I would say 3 rounds ago.
Can't use it.
Maybe 4. You just can't use it. It's just so difficult because Bren are just running them over. Like it's not even just running them over, but they're raising the ground as well.
Look at that. Yeah. The way that they execute is so disciplined. 0 information, running down the timer, and then all of a sudden, a null command gets popped. Stand by to get some, and they rush on in. They're trying to get some information. X10, they're using the spy chems. Ginny wants to pull off a little bit of a fragment lineup, but can't really quite get that nailed down. And all of a sudden now, aware that all those players are around, she does destroy that lockdown. Nice lineup, but still got to watch out for that choke point where Bren Esports are going to be rushing out of. Here comes a Hellfire. Ginny gets the first frag. Going for the second burst, but misses. Baby TG shot through the smokes as well. And all of a sudden, remaining players coming up from the back get denied by Alexi. Pop flash out, and they secured the site.
Last player standing.
Ollie gets a headshot, but oh my god, the Terminator, Alexi. She still has quite a bit of time, but she does not have the spike, so she does not know where this jet is either. She's gonna creep up, taking a spike, peeks out. Muffin just playing ever so patiently. Okay, Alexi is on the back foot right now because she's gonna be forced to plant the spike. and Muffin is going to be able to push up. Now it's going to be a 50-50 where she swings at Alexi. Oh, not a 50-50 if you're the Terminator, as Muffin just gets taken out. Her scalp was just... It doesn't matter how long she waited. Alexi was ready.
There was an option that she could have headed towards heaven instead, but wow, Alexi just went in for a quick jiggle and committed to the spray. Landing it perfectly. Target locked.
This is
7-2 now, Marky. This is
on a defense-sided map.
Exactly. I've never seen this before for X10. Even the first day of this second open, this is a problem.
Not sure if they have the tools to solve this problem right now, because they're trying to go for 3 mid, but just might be a funny strat because like Bren, they have all the tools to flush out those sewers. Oh my god, the flash to Alyssa with such bad timing. Unfortunately for her, they do get the headshots from those sheriffs. And Bren, a little bit on the back foot, but there's the rest coming out. There's some pain drills coming out as well. Alexi, the Terminator, is gonna clean things up, and Bren survive with 4 members alive. The economy is so good for them. The round is great for them as well. 8-2 right now, and X10F this is really not their map.
This is yeah. Maybe it's the map. But I honestly think you were right earlier on as well with the fact that this agent composition that Bren has, they figured something out, and it works so well for their playstyle. The pure number of offensive utilities that they have, they can use all of it to clear out angles, clear out corners, deny area, and they're doing just that, and they're doing it so well. Their executes have been unstoppable. X10F has not yet figured out a way to choke them out at choke points.
I think it's beautiful. It's a new style of Valorant that we're not used to seeing on game changers, right? We see a lot of teams focus on the defensive side, draft a lot of agents to kind of hold sites. Never such a lineup. Like, if you tell me they're running a lineup of Brim, Killjoy, Raze, Sage, and KO, I'd be saying you're smoking something. But man, the only people they're smoking are their enemies. Right now, they're just being torched out. Nowhere is safe. XNF, they try their best. They try to change strats, but nothing is working out.
I mean, yeah, like look at how they're positioned. Earlier on, you would see a couple players towards middle, Ginny towards A. They've swapped around, but it still isn't working out. They've got the guns, they've got the info, they've got the skills, but they don't really have the rounds. Even getting flashed now, Muffin walks up front. Unfortunately, this is slight timing, unable to connect those shots. Holly gets eliminated now, and Screens is under contest. There's no way that you can walk into that thing, and Ginny, the last one left, on towards the top of heaven against 4 players, gets the first one, does not expect another coming up by ropes for sure. Walks over onto the top of rafters, hears footsteps from ramps, and it's just so much paranoia. She doesn't know where to look. Pop flashes to try to secure a safe peek, but even then, every single layer coming out from Bren, it just overwhelms Ginny.
It's just too much. It's really just too much. Like,
no.
I can't imagine what you could do. Really, like, if I were them, I'd just push forward. Like, make it so that you're the one pushing, Bren, because right now, again, those mollies, those grenades, nowhere is safe. Everything is burning. Everything is exploding. The rounds are all being lost because there's just nothing that they could do.
That's the rumbling, Marquis. 5 rounds in a row now, and this is the last one of the first half. Bren secures it. It's a 10-2. I don't want to see a repeat of the match that they had on day 1. I don't want to see another 13-3. Come on, X10. They were the top second team from the first open. What is happening right now? Trying to play their defenses, trying to play their cards right as well, but they did not have the best economy in this round. Zero information again. Look at them. They're afraid to peek out. Utilities being shouted off, and they just throw it in. But unfortunately for them, Bren just continue to walk on through. Polly even trying an elevated position does not work out. Shirazi getting a triple kill. A quadra now. Looking for the last one as Baby TZ peeks out, and there is the ace. Shirazi, the dedicated controller, controls the site. 10-2 at the end of the first half.
That is just absolutely insane. Did she just mow them all down from different angles? Got 5 separate headshots on a brimstone? It's absolutely insane. I'm baffled right now. She just killed everyone.
Stimmy Turner.
It's just, it's the stims. She's just holding up. Imagine
Firing.
Brim had 2 stims at half the price prior to this patch. And wow, that's just absolutely insane. Like Bren, they're so good right now, 10-2, and it's like you mentioned, it might just be yet another 13-3. Like, I think you should be banning split against Bren right now. There's just no other option. They just look too good on it.
That's the why. Looking at the map pick and ban phase, why wasn't split banned? Why did X10 allow for this to happen? I think they wanted to try.
Yeah.
I think they really thought that they could set up those different positions. I mean, you could see they are trying different things. They did have that judge up by the top. It wasn't checked, but still it wasn't effective. And all these tiny different things all amount to Bren securing the first half with a 10-2. Unbelievable.
It's just so dominant right now, and Bren really know what they were doing. We talked about this. If you're going to split, if you're picking a split, you have to be ready to start on split attack. Because almost every single team will choose to start on defense and split. But Bren were ready for that. Every single round is a different execute. Every single round is like, maybe we'll go mid this time. Flush every single corner out. Maybe we'll go B, main. Flush every single corner out. We go in A. No corner is safe. Like, it's absolutely nowhere that's safe. Because everywhere is just offensive utility. They get control over the site. And really so much different from again, like you mentioned, Zolmeraki. Whenever they take sites, they don't get the post plants, but because of the way Bren play, when they get into a site, they're already pushing out forward. All the corners have already been cleared, and they've already taken control, and it's just too much for X10 to handle on this map.
Even that last round, it's a little bit of teamwork, but it's also just having that preparedness to understand what they all need to do. They walk straight through the fragment that was thrown out. As soon as they tried to throw a little bit of a dark cover, doesn't matter. Bren walks right out of it. The judge was rendered useless. Shirazi just instantly flicked over and spray converted into 3, 4, and then 5 people. It's one of the cleanest things that we've ever seen so far in VCT Game Changers APAC, and Bren certainly is a contender. You can bet that they are here to stay.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's the org buff, it's the coach buff, it's the player change buff. I'm not sure what it is, but Bren, look at them. They've already stopped the push on its tracks, and there's already 4 players on the defense, already rotated onto the A side. It's just, they know what to do.
Wow, even inside of the dark cover, sending out a boombot, they confirm that there are players coming up from A ramps. Checking it with the pop flash, unfortunately Alexi loses her head, but here comes Makazi there, just to attempt to deny that little bit of control. All those players are inching up towards A ramp now. The pop flash goes through and it's good. They want to make the quick adaptation to go from mid to B. That is surprising, but it works out pretty nicely. The one player on site will be Ali, and she thought about, Nano Swarm, offensive utility. There's the first kill. Now she's looking for the final 3. A little bit of a slow rotation coming from the Brimstone too, however. Shirazi, she's on her way, trying to make sure that there is no lurker. A right click is good to deny the spike carrier for now. And then Shirazi arrives on scene. Looking from the top of
They're
heaven.
all low.
She could get this very well, but has to be careful. Unfortunately, though, Shirazi a little bit too low. Baby TZ, a single shot to the chest. Secures the 3rd win for X10F now. Surely, this is going to be different from day 1.
Well, they got a pistol. I have faith that it'll be at least a 13-4.
Okay, Marky. not coming back in towards a 10 and 10. No overtime.
Nah, we'll have to see. I've yet to see X10. I mean, they have to be consistent with this attack, right? They were pretty
Agreed.
good at the adaptation. They got into the lobby. They waited patiently. They actually used Bren's strat against them, which is a pop flash into a wide swing, and immediately was able to clear out. And then suddenly changed directions, really just crossed over to B, and confused the heck out of Bren. It worked out. Oh, but look, baby Teasy, really good position from her if she peeks out at a great time. But right now, some of them are actually looking at this smoke. There's someone there! Oh, they get her! It's a surprise! 3 people peeking to the smoke at the same time. They know.
Oh my goodness, you could just imagine the team comps. 3, 2, 1. All 3 of them rushing into that smoke. Unfortunate timing with the 0 point as well. But here comes the rest of those Spectres. It's Muffin, it's Alyssa, it's Polly, and they kill all of them, cleaning up the house. 4 to 10. They've broken that initial curse. Now X10F, can you do a little bit more than that?
Round 3? Or rather, round 3 off the second half. This is where it's difficult, right? This is where your bonus round comes in. But, okay, this is a bonus round, but we see 2 players on X10 already very low on creds, which means that if they don't win this bonus round, they're investing a little bit more into this. If they don't win this bonus round, they're in a really bad spot at that point.
Great catch by our observer, by the way, whoever that is with the peeks into the smoke. That's amazing. But here comes X10F now, trying to pull off something similar in towards the middle. But Bren is just prepared for it. They don't even really care. They go in for the peeks. It's a bit of a trade with the rifles. And now we're back to a 4-on-4. X10F, do they continue to push up front? Seems not.
Yeah, they slowed down a little bit. Big difference from how Bren plays, where they would just run at heaven, kill everyone there, get into B, get the spike down. A little bit more calculated, a little bit more feeling things, a little bit more defaulting.
Okay. Just a bit. At least allowing for Bren to back off, and that is where they find a little bit more space to push up front. 0 point. They don't quite have the same offensive utility, but they have enough just to drop down. But oh no, the sprays are even better. Bren, they've secured it, and they've held them off 11 to 4. Just by timing this out, just by thinking about the retakes, just by slowing them and throwing a wrench in their plans, they've managed to come up with yet another win.
Mikasi just danced around that corner, was able to get 3 kills from underneath. It's so annoying. Look, she gets a kill there. She gets a transfer as well as she jumps up. Just crazy plays from Bren. They're holding really well, and they're en route to match point because X10F, they have to eco this round.
That's a problem. This is a potential match point. Just because of that eco. Bren, incredibly well prepared. This split map, it's just too good, but let's see what X10 can pull off. Whatever else they have, all 5 in towards ramps. Pretty sure they've been spotted out as well. Dashing into sight though will be Muffin, and she walks straight into Alexi. First contact has been made. And now it's just a matter of time. The rest of the bowling pins starting to fall. Ginny will be able to answer back for the time being. A bit of a pop flash. She knows there are players still at the top. Runs out of bullets, and all of a sudden the peek comes out from Ali. Death from above from Zinni. Not even needed. This is match point, Marquis.
Match point. Bren have the guns. Bren have the economy. X10F. I don't know what they can do right now, but that execute looked a little bit cleaner, even though it was an eco. They do have the money as well, so I have high hopes for X10 that they can string a few more rounds in.
I think they need more than just a few more. But let us see. Because for now, whatever it is, Bren, they figured out the attacking side of this map. Whether it's retakes or actually attacking, they know how to do it all. X10F, it feels like they're walking straight into those traps. Even though we're not talking about literal trapping utilities. We got a little bit of garage control. They're hiding inside of it. But if X10 decides to peek, they could lose their heads.
Yeah, and they do lose
Oh,
one
they
head
did.
already as Shirazi takes the first kill. And off of that stim,
Oh.
actually it's the other way around this time. Baby Teasy takes Shirazi down. Mikasi with the paint shells gets one down as well. Baby Teasy falls.
Get out.
And it's not looking good for X10 right now. They're trying to push through B heaven, but there's already 2 players on B. It's gonna be a 3v2 that they're gonna have to play. They're not getting much information.
Look at the rotations as well from Bren. Of course, X10 is not much information, but they go back in just to check. Okay, they're not going towards ropes. They have to be inside of B heaven. Let's walk up the stairs now. We
30
see
seconds
Ginny.
left.
We lose the first player. Do they expect the second? Not quite. Alexi comes back in. Pop flash just to stall them for the time being. They still have 3 players to defend. X10 have to make a choice. They've got 20 seconds left. Clearing down the bottom of the stairs, that's a 180-degree angle. You gotta clear up both sides. Clearly, they cannot.
Defenders win.
Alexi and Ali close this out. It might not be a 13-3, but like you said, Marquis, it's at least a 13-4.
It's pretty crazy the way Bren are playing right now, and I'm so excited for this because what we normally see is when a team is great at attacking, they're still running kind of like a standard lineup or maybe a double duelist lineup. I like this innovation from Bren. There's a lot of flush utility. There's a lot of mollies, offensive utility. They start an attack. They just clear every single corner, get into the site, plant their flag, plant their spike, and then win. And backed up with crazy firepower as well. Shirazi with the ace. And just absolutely crazy. We're going to see the scoreboard very shortly. And we're going to see how the players perform because Bren, they tore it up. Like, absolutely tore it up. Shirazi, as you mentioned, that ace really catapulted her on top. Alexi, the Terminator, Ali, in the early parts of the round as well. It's not even Mikasi, who's on the raise. I mean, not to say that she's supposed to be top fragging, but everyone on Bren, they're just finding these kills. Zinni with the early clutches as well in the first round. And Bren are just firing on all cylinders.
It's just a complete shift in power. And X10, as strong and as sharp as they might be, each and every one of those players, remember, these are the girls that stood up to Alter Ego Celeste and managed to take it down to 5 maps. Against a team like Bren, who all of a sudden came out of nowhere, and they have these strats now on a map like Split. It is so flawless. I can't tell you how many of those rounds that they've won were actually flawless victories, because it certainly was quite a number of them. And X10 have not yet figured out how to deal with that. So they're down by 1 map.
Yeah,
They could be eliminated in the next.
We're gonna have to see about that, but you know, this was Bren's map pick, and we're gonna see the highlights real quick because this game has been full of Bren highlights. The classic, of course, to start things off. The grenades. You're gonna see a lot of utility usage here, and like you mentioned, it's a bit reminiscent of European teams, but they actually use a lot of utility to take control. A lot of utility, a lot of firepower, a lot of explosions, a lot of clearing things left and right, a lot of Mikasi, a lot of Alexi. You're just getting the kills left and right here. I love this one where they all swing in and it's like, nope, you're not hiding in the smoke here. Oh, from the other perspective as well. 3 of them
Incredible.
just swing. It's just so good. They knew what X10 were up to. They knew that there would be someone hiding there. Mikasi toying with her food here as well. Spins around, gets all those kills. Alexi, Terminator on the A side, just holds it up as her teammates come in to support her. Bren are just so good.
Yeah, thanks to our observer for capturing all of these, all the observers, honestly. And again, just randomly, huge shout outs to Ishan as well as Black and Blue, because you can bet they're rooting for this team. Bren, they show that they really know how to play this game. And honestly, Shirazi, Alexi, pardon me for this joke, but they are... Oh wait, crap. Excuse my wallpaper. They are this thing. this part of my screen.
Cracked. Okay.
Thank you,
They're
Marky.
cracked. Okay. I get what you're saying. They're absolutely cracked for sure. And Bren have definitely cracked the code that is X10. And before we go to game 2, of course, we're gonna go for yet another quick break as the players, rest up a little bit as well. It's been a long day for both teams.
Once more, hello and welcome back, folks. This is the VCT Game Changers APAC Series Open number 2, and we are in the lower bracket round 3. Bren Esports Victress, a sudden victor in all these series. They've managed to destroy X10F on Split, now moving in towards Ascent on a map which Bren kind of stole a map away from Alter Ego Celeste. This is unbelievable, and we have to take you through this action. Hey, I'm Quack, and along with me is Keycasts. What do you think is going to happen now?
It's been an amazing day for Bren. Like, whenever we watched him play, it's their lineups are so good. And the thing is, they have shown earlier today that they can play Ascent. So that's the thing. It's not like it's a weak map for them necessarily. They won against Zol Meraki. The exact same lineup that you saw on Split, they'll likely run that on Ascent as well. The KO I believe there might have been a Sova even.
Yeah, there's
There was a Sova, KO, Brim, Killjoy, Raze. I think that was the lineup there, and
yes.
it's just so good. Like, Bren are so good at attacking. I'm not sure if they'll change something right now because they're actually starting on defense, which would be interesting. So we'll see if X10Crit have been surpassed, or will they actually rise up and show that they're still number 2 for this league, right? I mean, we'll have to see because like I'm already kind of like saying X10 they're struggling, but we saw them on Bren's map, right? Maybe X10 are ready for Ascent.
They have to be. Again, Ascent is a map that a lot of Thai teams love, especially in Game Changers, and they perform incredibly well on it. But once more, it's going to be Bren, and this is Bren, the team that stole that win off of Alter Ego Celeste. On this very Asia composition, the sheer amount of offensive utilities and how much they can actually do along with it. I'm not quite sure how X10 is going to play off of that. And at the same time, I don't believe that we've actually seen them play Ascent all that much, at least for this Open.
Yeah.
But, you know, they must have picked it for a reason. And again, this is the team that took Alter Ego Celeste to best of 5, a full series. If they want that top second spot, if they want to maintain it, they have to win right now.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I'm not sure if they're ready for that because what I saw on Split, which is likely what we'll see on Ascent as well, when Bren are on attack, there's no breaks. There's no stopping the Bren bus. Bren bus. Bren,
The Bren
bus.
bus.
I call it the Bren train. No, I don't know. But the Bren, they're like a freight train running at you. Like everything just gets decimated, and in their wake it's just bodies of agents left behind, and it's just so good right now. Like I would say that it would rival Alter Ego Celeste's attacking side. That's the biggest thing right now that I feel. Maybe their defense isn't as great, but I feel like on attack, they're just so good. They're just so clean. They have executes. They can flush out corners. We're starting to see a deviation.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay, Shirazi was on Brim earlier today on Ascent. She's hovering Omen and Astra right now. I mean, we always get trolled by the players. I'm not gonna believe it until they lock it in.
But you can definitely count on the fact that X10, the double controller now.
Yeah, so this is interesting.
That's-
Astra Viper. Okay, it looks like they're gonna go for the exact same lineup that they did earlier today. It's gonna be the Brim on Shirazi.
Ooh.
Viper Astra. I like this. I like this on Bind though.
Sentinel-less. Yeah, on Bind a little bit more so than Ascent. But okay. And they're starting out on the attacking side as well. What are they possibly looking to pull off with a lineup like this? I can foresee, pulling off some kind of combo with the Astra.
Choose your agent.
But apart from that, and using that to clear out corners, Viper on Ascent with a toxic screen, it's not really the same as on some maps like Bind or maybe even Haven.
Yeah, it's not even Haven. Mostly Icebox. A little bit
Definitely,
of Bind.
yeah, Icebox or Breeze as well.
Breeze,
Like
for
you
sure.
can't cut the sight in half the same way that you would normally do. So this is interesting.
It's definitely very interesting, and we'll have to see if they have something in mind here. Maybe it's a post plant thing, right? On Ascent, the post plant lineups. That's why you have a Viper. Maybe
You're right, you're
Astra
right.
is also great at post plant lineups. That was something that we saw Zol struggle with, post plants. And if they have the Astra and the Viper, that's free post plants for them, right? But they have to get into the site first, which is the problem with the double controller lineup.
It's one way. Double controller, double initiator. They have a jet. That's one way that they could create a bit of space. But here's another thing. And again, this is a lineup that fairly long ago FaZe went with from NA. Sentinel-less. Like, you don't really use Sentinels in other tactical shooters. Why would you really need one in Valorant? But sometimes they provide a little bit of utility because they're kind of that hybrid-ish role. You might have a chamber that can act as a duelist somewhat as well. A Cypher has a Cyber Cage, which acts as a sort of a smoke. Sage with the wall is just incredibly unique. What kind of strat could they be looking to pull off, right? With the Viper, you can somewhat control sites incredibly well to the point where you're almost like a Sentinel. But again, on Ascent, I'm just trying to rack my brain to see how that would work. On the offense, maybe you can do quite a bit to sites, but defending?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. And I believe it's Bren that's starting the defending side, so we'll see how their attack is on X10.
What can X10 be? This is a very, very curious agent composition, but let's just see how this plays out. So, starting pretty soon, it's going to be round 1, map number 2, X10F, with their curious double controller lineup on Ascent, on the attacking side. Meanwhile, Bren going for the tried and true method that we've seen so far. Already setting it up to go for that B push. Oh, that's where the Viper... Oh, the toxic screen. Take a look at that, Marky.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a mid-controlling screen. And that's actually a really interesting lineup, because you're going to have to do it from A, which means that if your team is going B, you're kind of left there alone. So she's playing sort of a pseudo-sentinel role in the sense that she's denying rotations from mid and A. Oh, the double shock dart, Zinni!
Ouch.
That is painful. And of course, Muffin is also really low, gets taken down. That is just so painful. Is really the offensive utilities. Like if you add Sova to the mix as well, that's shock darts. It's not even like it was staged on split, but now they have even more offensive utility.
Oh my goodness. Well, Baby TZ able to find double, but Alexi, she wasn't accounting for that one. Went for the reload as well. But that shock dart, Marquis. Oh my goodness. You must be celebrating if you land a shot like that.
Yeah, that was so good. Oh, one thing to note though, there is a difference in their picks. Mikasi pulled the rug from under us.
Not the raise.
She highlighted the raise, but actually locked in Jet. I was like, wait, there's a Jet? And then
Just noticed as well.
oh gosh, Bren, they're really firing on all cylinders. The information into the double shock dart, Zinni getting a double kill with those darts is just icing on the cake. Because X10, they must be quaking in their boots right now. They're already on tournament point. And Bren, they seem to have this figured out. They got a pistol round, and that sets the tone for the first half.
Well, still rolling forward, all 5 of them through the market, where they get met by a couple of Spectres. It's Zinni and Mikasi, and they've secured it all down. Baby TZ, last one left once more. Like you said, separated from her pack. There's not much else that she could do. Trying to close in on the distance with her toxic screen, but surely she knows that there's a firing squad on the other side of that wall, on the other side of that pillar. This is basically death now. Oh, narrowly avoiding getting spotted, but they seem to have an inkling of where she is.
Of course they know, but wow, the timing on that was pretty scary. She heard the arrow flying. It's even delayed now because of the Viper nerf. She heard the arrow flying and then immediately like, okay, toxic screen, please come back up. There's a cooldown now. There's a delay as well. So Bren though, so good at these crossfires, so good at reading their opponents. I think that's the biggest thing that we're seeing Bren. I think they improved in reading their opponents in their information game.
The game sense has been elevated as well, just to, even without seeing, just by deducing where your opponents could be and what they could be trying to do. It's a completely different Bren, I think, than what we saw from the last month. Again, this is one heck of a rematch, and last month, XNF were the ones that were winning. This time around now, with the full buy, they could be looking to do the same thing. 3 players eliminated. And two are the only ones that remain for Bren. Shirazi trying to check out in towards the top of mid. She only finds her teammates' corpses.
Yeah, they're all littered all the way in mid, and the rest of Bren. Great attempt by them. They tried to be aggressive, but it didn't pay off. Are they
Not much.
waiting?
Ooh,
Toxin screen down.
they are slowly going for that sudden delayed execute. Brent's players are definitely around to hold and defend, though. Damage bomb's getting popped, and there's the molly. Suddenly, a couple of members are separated from most of them, but still, the numbers will prevail. And Baby TZ finishes off with a headshot, despite getting planted as well. You will be happy about that one, Marky.
Yeah, big bonus. All teams tend to celebrate very fast and actually forget to plant the spike, so they should plant a spike every single time. Just a reminder to everyone. Every single time. You gotta plant that spike. Oh!
Why not?
An operator buy? Shirazi buys an op from Mikasi. This is really interesting right now. Let's see if it pays off.
Too often.
And she's on the jet now instead of the Raze, so that kind of like is the difference in the way they're choosing their lineup. You sacrifice a little bit of the nades, but you have the dash. And anyway, I think they have enough flushing utility from Bren. They have the darts, they have the molly, they have the nano swarm, they have the fragment. They can clear every single corner even without the Raze. So I think this jet pick is actually I like this variation better.
Yeah, you jet main.
Don't call me out.
They do have the operator. Certainly can provide a lot of value. Haven't fired it yet, so X10 doesn't know. But they somehow managed to circumvent most of whatever Bren has and decided to push in towards A. Only 2 players on this site and a bunch of kill for utility. Gotta clear that out and gotta avoid that brimstone incendiary if they want to control the site. So, well, they just roll out the red carpet. X10 gets to walk in for free.
Left.
Spike gets planted now, and it's going to be a full 5v5 retake.
A bit uncharacteristic for Bren. They haven't found a single kill just yet, but they're gonna go for this retake. That operator will pay off. Muffin gets the first kill onto Zinni. Immediately ducks out, and right now Bren have to flush her out.
Trying really as Cloudburst just block her off, and here comes Ginny. It's a flawless execution. Anyone they try to send forth, the retake gets denied. 2-2. X10F starting to figure out how Bren plays, possibly.
Yeah, they got the executes done right, and then they even got the post plants down. I haven't seen X10 be this clean, at least on the map 1. So that's definitely very
Definitely
promising.
not map 1. Promising. Let's see if they can continue to do a little bit more.
Yeah, it looks like Bren are gonna go for that half buy. Oh, Alexis.
Suppressing.
Oh, they're actually pushing out. Really great aggressive plays here from Bren, but they immediately get stopped because of the flash. Oh, they're gonna get the kills anyway. Mikasi with the blade storm. Ali with the frenzy even. Oh, Mikasi with a classic.
Down mid.
And it's starting to look very dangerous for X10. They did not expect its aggression. It's all down to Baby TZ who gets shut down.
I could not
This
have made that easier.
is not supposed to happen.
I'm not sure if it's a little bit of an oversight or just overconfidence, but they started to go in for those duels. And Bren with the positions that they had, A short, bottom of mid. So many players just coming out. The X10 got a little bit overwhelmed. They lost out in those duels. All to pistols and marshals.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy the way they did that. I mean, X10, they were on a really and then all of a sudden,
Launching smoke.
and really showcasing how diverse their playbook is. They can play slow, they can play fast, they can play aggressive on defense, they can win ecos. And it's just great seeing this from Bren, and I'm scared for X10 because it's starting to look good for them. And then all of a sudden Bren was like, yeah, but we'll take this round. Thrifty one.
Yeah, it's ours. I take the thrifty. Not quite sure how X10F can feel about that. Not even sure if Ginny is calling.
Blocks away.
Like her time in previous Thai teams, but
What?
now moving forward again. Ooh! Shots right through the smoke. They have the toxic screen to block off middle as well. Bren are certainly starting to sweat just by a bit. Unfortunately unable to hold it down as players stream in to get the spike planted. Take a look at your mini-map as well. They have a Viper walking all the way from the back. From A ramp? Oh, this could be painful. Has to make it quick though, because Bren are starting their retake already. Streaming on towards site, they're planting some sky smokes as well, making it a little bit more easy. But here comes Polly, gets the first one. Teammates there back up as well, and Ginny finds yet another. Shirazi all alone, and she cannot do anything. Baby TZ from the back cleans it up. It's 3-3.
Yeah, it wasn't.
X10F
It wasn't
still in
just
the game.
Baby Teasy. Paulie also flanked from mid, and I think Bren just became the middle part of the sandwich there, as the flanks were just a bit too strong. Look at this, Paulie getting the kill there and left Razi alone in a 1v5. She takes one down, but Bren are reset again, so they're gonna have to go for another thrifty. But you know, we've seen them on these thrifty rounds. It's been pretty crazy.
Certainly has been, but honestly, X10F, they're starting to figure out how to play on these full buy rounds. Going in for just site takes and preventing Bren from retaking. It's starting to work out, but at the same time, Bren are still deadly. Pushing out into A main, take a look at that. They know that the hit is headed towards either B or mid. And Ali starting to get a little bit antsy, peeks out, gets denied. They've lost control of B.
B side is open yet again. We saw, I think this seems to be the favored side for X10 at this point. And for Bren, they don't have the guns for this. They're gonna just try to see how many kills they can
Spike
get.
planted.
They have a few sheriffs. I wouldn't count them out completely, but Mikasi does not have the Blade Storm like she did the previous Thrifty, and the spike is down, so there's really not much for them to get out of this.
Breaking down the doors. It's a little bit, not just a little bit, like you said, I mean, it's just not much for them to do right now. Oh, wow, what a spray transfer. Double headshots, but Mikasi answers back up with a headshot of her own. And even then, the timer's still ticking without the best guns. Bren are faced with a challenge.
Yeah, I wonder what
Possibly
Sammy
looking
is
for
trying
exit
to
frags
do.
that... Yeah, exit frags at most, but you still gotta die to the spike, possibly. Or at least that's what Mikasi has done, but...
Not for Zinni. She prefers to die. I mean, you have a choice as well.
To have bullets.
If you have, you can consider that if you die to the enemy, you get an ultimate orb. Although you're conceding one as well and conceding 200 creds, if you die to the spike, you don't get an ultimate orb. So if you're actually chasing that ultimate, which I believe Zinni was chasing, not that she died, she actually has. Wait, no, she had Hunter's Fury the previous round.
Not particularly sure.
She did. She did. I'm quite certain she did. And yeah, so she could have just died to the spike there.
Regardless, this is shaping up to be a fairly close match, 3-4 at the current moment, and Bren deciding to call a timeout.
It looks
Something
like it's Alexi
that
that
they've
calls
been-
it.
Yeah. Something's not working, and they're trying to figure that out. And I think it's honestly just because X10F have started to adapt to whatever Bren throws at them. The defenses aren't really working out. X10F knows how to execute. What's more important is that the retakes thus far have been denied.
Yeah, it's been a difficult retake, like uncharacteristic of Bren. I mean, assuming we're comparing them to Split, the earlier map. So X10, I mean, we talked about this. They better know what they're doing. And it looks like they do.
Certainly looks like it for the time being. Going for a little bit of default map control now. Wanting to prevent Bren from gaining active map control. A bit of a pop flash and a peek. And they're still trying to push on out. Baby TZ's just on the other side, waiting, anticipating for the peak. Teammates are rotating over as well. They be looking to overwhelm the A site.
Yeah, but Bren are playing very disciplined. There's someone in wine. There's someone on site. There's someone in tree room as well. They're actually starting to rotate towards A. If you can see the positions of Sova and Killjoy on Bren's side, they're already poaching and positioning towards A. Alexi does have a pop flash. Oh, she throws a pop flash as soon as 0 point comes out. The smoke comes out as well from her teammate. That's a lot of support from the teammates. Oh, there's a grenade. There's a shock that's coming out, but Zinni is gonna take Muffin down using the Hunter's Fury. Bren have figured this out, and there's the knife point coming out as well. And now Alyssa is actually
30 seconds left.
hiding in this corner. There's not much time
30
left.
seconds though.
Yeah.
I believe X10, hearing that pop flash, wanted to secure the duels, knowing that there would be a KO on site. But unfortunately, they walk right into that trap. It's players over by Wine, players towards the back of site. Alexi and Shirazi just putting up the red tape, preventing X10F from pushing in towards A site. This is a great defense by Bren.
That was a great timeout as well. I think that the timeout probably recollected their thoughts, figured out their defense, and I think that they figured something out.
It's a good play. Smart on the rotations as well. They made it fast. Here comes X10F with a different toxic screen this time. Huh.
Yeah, it might be an A fake. I think that Bren aren't falling for it though. You can see that they still have 3 players on B. They're not rotating just yet. They know there's a little bit of mid control coming in. Shirazi is able to hear them. And the smokes are going to come out. They're going to try to go for the B side, it seems like. There's null command coming out. Oh, there's flash on the Mikasa. Doesn't matter. She got one headshot. She even tapped Polly a little bit there. I think it was through her teammate's body. There's the res coming in onto the KO. Polly is able to res Jenny. Oh, but Shirazi. Oh my lord. She's able to get them, and Baby TZ just a little bit too slow. She's going around the world with that rotation yet again, and it's gonna get taken down by Alexi. They've definitely figured things out here.
Oh, Marquis. Well, first of all, there was Alexi plus Shirazi, the combo of death. Second of all, there's a problem that you kind of alluded to since the start of this half. You got the Viper that's always separated from the pack, and unfortunately, that's just sometimes not enough firepower. And similarly, at the same time, Bren are reading them. They knew that that A bait was just completely fake. Still stacking players, 3 players on B. So this time around, X10F trying to do something similar, possibly trying to condition the Bren players. Whether or not it's going to work out is a completely different story. X10F now going in for mid control.
There's only so many rounds you could use to condition Bren. And right now, Bren seem to be buying this fake, and it's actually a smart read because they are going A. There's 4 members off Bren on A, and they're trying to get in. And it's just going to be so difficult to get in.
Must be great calls by Ali because she knows that there isn't that much activity in towards B. So all 4 hiding on the A site. They're just prepping, standing by to get some. Ginny starts things off with a 0 point. They dash right in, and it's going to be Mikasi with the instant headshot. Zinni there to back it up as well. They could be completely choked out just by the same main choke point. Final kill goes to Alexi, and Bren securing the 6th win now. X10F all of a sudden have lost their advantage. They can't even figure out how to execute anymore.
They even had a Cosmic Divide, and it just wasn't enough. Bren just mowed them down. I think right now Bren, off of their timeout, they figured things out. And right now it's going to be X10 that's going to be calling their own timeout. They're going to try to figure things out here. But, you know, if I were to say, Bren have just figured out the attack. And X10F, they don't have the same adaptability that we see Bren have. Like, their lineup just doesn't allow for it. It's just always going to be a smoke into a knife, into a dash in, and maybe a recon, and that's it. There's ever never any variation to that. They have to go on one side.
I don't know about you, but I'm thoroughly impressed. It's like you said, it's almost as if they have no options remaining. Just constantly trying to group up to head towards a single site, but with all these pieces of utility, with Bren reading the situation and being prepared for whatever X10F throws at them, they know exactly how to react at the right times. The only time so far, the previous 4 wins that X10F have had, is when they somehow were able to execute onto site safely because they were able to circumvent whatever defenses that Bren had and ultimately preventing Bren from retaking those sites. This time around, though, I'm not sure if it's going to work out again. It's got 2 rounds left in this first half. The same toxic screen from before, giving them that mid control. They could push in towards markets. Where else they could go after that, I'm not entirely certain.
I was gonna say that this Viper pick isn't really paying off. Like the wall.
It's interesting.
Yes, it's interesting, but what's happening is that Bren are just ignoring that wall. So they were gonna sacrifice mid anyway, so they're playing around that. And they're playing around that well. The thing is, X10F, how much advantage can you actually get from controlling mid? They have controlled mid almost every single round. But it doesn't matter because Brendan's like, I don't care.
Take mid. I'll just go somewhere else. All I really got to do is to defend the sites, and they are doing that.
They're gonna take
It's a little bit of a trade, however.
Yeah.
Taking down the A site, Ginny. Completely shutting down Alexi. A bit of an orbital strike to try to slow down the spike plants, but X10F, they're fighting right back. Viper's Pit pulled out. And now hopefully control over the site. Muffin with a Spectre as well. Finds a shot through a lurk. 2 players now off the top of heaven. Slowly trying to make their way down, but they cannot. Paulie finds her. Now it's all up to Zinni. A 1v4. As Muffin continues to annoy the heck out of her. Dancing back and forth. Zinni has no choice but to back off. She wants to go with a safer route. Does find a headshot in towards Ginny. But there are still 3 more players. This is the second last round of the first half. So Zinni still has a little bit left in her tank. She has quite a bit of money in the bank as well. So opting for the save now, Marquis.
Yeah, I think the money in the bank is very important as well. I'm not sure if the rest of her teammates have enough to buy for this last round. So keeping this gun in her hands might actually be important. But let's take a look at the economy real quick. Oh well, let's take a replay. Clean execute from X10. So that's actually very different from the last few rounds where Bren seemed to have just clamped down on the attack every single time, and Muffin is able to get his operator as well. Checking out the cash. Okay, Bren are still super duper rich. They have 2 operators. They didn't need to save that. But wow, double op. Shirazi, Mikasi, each on the operator. Muffin took an op as well of her own. She stole it from Mikasi.
We're gonna have 3 ops in this round. Mikasi does have the Blaze Storm, though. Can't use it at the moment. 0 Point has sussed her out. X10F looking to find a chink in Bren's armor. So far, not really discovered yet. Whoa. Whoa. Hunter's Reed just to find Muffin now? 1 beam tag, but not really the rest. And all of a sudden, it's just a bait. The rest of them are pushing in towards the B side. Alexi has to hold an anchor. Gets denied by Muffin, though. And there it is. The execution works out. They've gotten control over the B site. Spike getting planted now. And all they really need to do is to deny this retake as they've done before.
And Shirazi's still alive. If there's anyone who will do it, I believe it's going to be her because she's been insane. But what is Mikasi doing sitting on that recon? Alright, looks like Ginny might have to jump from behind. Trying to look for the rest of members of Bren. They died to this last time as well. As she puts this lockdown down, Ginny is just going to take them all out. The lockdown is going to go down as well, and it's going to be a flawless round, and it's going to be an even game coming into the second half.
Switching sides.
6-6. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Ginny with the smart lurk. And at the same time, the execution coming in from the X10F players, that Hunter's Fury really faked it out.
Yeah, it really, I mean, it's really just a matter of selling the fake, right? And I think Bren, after losing the previous round, they started to get a little bit scared, a little bit less confident. And once the Hunter Spirit came on, they're like, okay, rotate A, but we can't let them rush us again. But it was actually a fake, and they were able to take over B side, even though there were still 2 defenders on it. So it's neck and neck right now. But we saw how Ascent was played from Bren. We saw how they executed on the attacking side with this lineup. And slight variation, Raze is now Jet, but we're still gonna see some crazy molly, some crazy plays, some nanoswarm lineups to chuck it over the roof and then just clear out the corners. We're gonna see that from Bren, and we're gonna see if X10 will be able to hold them off.
This is where things get a little bit interesting, because I don't know if X10 can actually hold them off. Both teams now have their own strengths and weaknesses that are quite clear. X10F knowing how to play post plants for sure. This is something that Bren's previous opponents haven't really done before. Bren now has to figure out a different approach to the game, and they have. But still, it's only a 6-6. Now, on the defense though for X10, you got a Viper. How do you use your toxic screen to really control these parts of the map? I'm trying to crack that code, but the only way that I can think about it is maybe if you use the toxic screen that it extends in towards mid,
Maybe.
and then a poison cloud towards the other entrance of the site alone. But you're gonna need a little bit more than that.
I'm guessing it might be mid control. As like you mentioned, if Viper plays mid, you could put the poison cloud up on the arch and then kind of like do a one-way, and then support by throwing the toxic screen up on one side or the other. That's how I imagine Viper to be played. It looks like they're going. Viper is going to be playing A short though, so it's not going to be how I imagine it to be. Maybe it's like you mentioned, a toxic screen just across mid. It's really just maybe it's just really completely for mid control.
She hasn't deployed it yet, so perhaps looking to save it for the round. Maybe just going for quick peeks first. Bren, on the other hand, we have seen this. Slight difference, sure, but we know how offensive they can be. We know how tactical they can be. Slowly and surely clearing out all these corners on the map and then going in for that surprising execute. XNF, though, they're not sitting ducks. They're going to start peeking out. They want to suss out and fish for information.
Yeah, they don't just sit around.
Ooh.
Oh, Ginny gets the first frag. There's a flash down from Lexi. They flash each other, but Lexi gets one, gets
Spike
two.
down mid.
And it's down to a 3v3. This pistol round is super bloody. They all want mid control. There's both recons coming out, but it's only Bren's that actually detects people. As shooting through the wall, not much penetration power on that ghost as Alexi gets taken down by Alyssa. And they're just controlling mid. The rest of Bren are also at mid. They just swing forward, and it's all down to Ali. Zinni got taken down, and with a frenzy. Oh, I was gonna say I'm not sure what you could do with a frenzy, but apparently it's swinging headshots. And as she swings forward, she's gonna try to go for another one, but Muffin just has a little bit too much health.
Huge potential, but unfortunately, even then, the frenzy just in a 1v2 was a little bit unfortunate. Muffin, even if she died, Polly would have been there to play off of her contact. So 6-7 X10F. This active defense, the way that they continuously push out, continuously peek for information, continuously resisting against whatever Bren is trying to attempt to find bits of map control. It works out. This is a good defense. If they can keep this up, I can see this map going X10's way.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Bren was used to having their way when attacking, and X10F pushed forward, and they're like, "No, you're not getting anywhere. We're stopping you in your tracks."
Poison's off.
Once more, just to remind everyone really quickly, Bren did take this map off of Alter Ego Celeste. It was 14-12. There is that potential of both teams going overtime again, but once more, X10F, this is their tournament life on the line. Poison clouds to block it off, and there is that toxic screen that goes in towards the middle. Doesn't really do all that much though, because again, like you mentioned before, Bren just completely walks past it. They are setting up for the push straight into towards A site. They walk right in. Fragment blocks it off for the time being, and it works. The pistols will not do all that much as Muffin seeks to destroy the third kill in the round and an 8th win for X10F.
Looking good for them, but Bren this is where they can actually execute. They have the creds, they have the guns. Let's see if what we were hyping Bren up for is actually something to be hyped up for. Because it's going to be some mollies, it's going to be some grenades, it's going to be clearing corners. But are X10Crit ready for that?
One enemy remaining.
It's gonna get a little bit dicier now, isn't it?
I mean, it was already dicey the past
buys.
few rounds, I feel. It's just a bit of a bloodbath between these two teams. Oh, there's the Viper. Actually
Oh my
allowing
God.
them from mid-control. It's a push out. This is exactly what Bren did on the third round. And they're doing it to
Oh, it's
Bren.
not working.
It's not working at all. They just pulled the rug from under them, and now both sides are free. In fact, they're headed towards.
They swapped sides.
Yeah, they swapped sides, and it looks like wait, but Bren also don't know that there's no one there. Oh, they can actually recover this gun. This could be really scary. Ali better be ready for this push. There's two members pushing still. Oh, Shirazi actually leaves Ali alone. Ali gets taken out here. It's gonna be dangerous, but no, Ali is able to hold. Polly gets taken out. Baby Teasy though is still there. Will Ali be ready for that, or will she run away?
I think she might run away.
Yep.
I think she did. So Baby Teasy did her job, and all of a sudden, Zinni's the only one that's left. It's a 1v1, and 50 seconds left. She has quite a bit of time. She can rotate all the way in towards the B site. But does she know where Baby TZ is? This person is skulking all the way over around just to check out corners. And if she gets her way with things,
30 seconds left.
she's going to get the jump onto her Zinni. Zinni
planted.
plants straight as soon as she gets on site. Has a little bit more time, so she could possibly make her way in towards B main, but has to be careful now. The timing is a little bit too precise, too risky. Baby TZ continues to walk up front, and right now slowly trying to suss out the corners. Taps the spike, baiting the peek. Zinni hears the footsteps, almost eats a bullet through the wall, and thankfully avoids it. Recon ball comes out, and she finds her. Just plays around the timing of things. And there's the wallbang! Oh my god, Zinni! Strikes while the iron is hot. A sudden shot, and she actually still finds a tick too. Survives by 9 HP. Bren! This is incredible!
Was that a ping through the wall and into the kill? I mean, they did lose so many guns though, but Bren bringing that back. Zinni clutching that out is so important. Oh my gosh, she just shot through the wall after she heard the defuse. Great timing from her. And wow, Bren still remain in this game, but X10, they have the creds advantage now. They have the economical advantage. It's gonna be an op on their side.
Suppressed.
Along with an op, they can chain it to even more wins. Still though, information game being played by Bren at the moment. Trying to find
Ooh, that's a
whatever
lineup.
they can.
That's a lineup for the lockdown.
That's gonna... There it is, there it is. Ginny has been doing that for the past couple maps now, and it's working out so well. Bren has no choice. They cannot walk through this thing. Ooh.
Double
Nebula
orb?
comes out right on time as well.
I believe that was it Bo3 the first one who did that in an official match? Fragment
Maybe.
into that corner, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
I remember that because Fnatic was one of the first few teams that started running KO more often, and we're starting to see that seep through different methods, different regions, different leagues even. And we're seeing that here. That fragment lineup is 100% important.
Oh, yeah. It's important, but at the same time, X10F are playing it so smart too. They went out to peek in towards middle, and this just confirms that the hit is coming in towards A, and that is where they will be trying to find some frags, but unfortunately, it's not going all the way for X10F. Bren still managed to seep through, and now the spike gets planted, positioning right underneath Hell. They send out an owl drone. Gotta be precise with the timing too. And now just waiting for them to drop down. They know that both players are under there. Trying to play off the cloudburst, they drop down onto the left side of the generator. Got the angle with the Storm it, but Zinni! Oh, the spray transfer! She got a third kill in the round and tied up the score for Bren.
That's 2 clutches in a row for Zinni. Securing the last 2 rounds for Bren, really dictating the pace of the second half. She was the last one alive for both times. Against all odds, she was able to take them down. And Zinni, really the hero of this 1v2, takes one down, immediately swings out, takes Muffin down
Wow.
as well. Great play from the Sova.
So smart to know to swing as Muffin goes in for the peek. Of course, Muffin wouldn't expect that. Muffin kind of thought that Zinni would still be tucked in that corner. So you just peek along to match with that advantage that Muffin had. Now, well, Economy maybe not working the best, but she goes in for the Blade Storms. Bakasi picks it up. Bren is looking to execute. Look at what X10F have, though. Bucky's and all 5 players stacked up towards B.
Already got damaged by the shock dart a little bit, so she's on half health. Mikasi just needs one knife.
Oh boy.
One knife, but Polly is gonna take Mikasi down. Instant headshot from the chair. They actually stacked onto B, so they might lose a few more lives here before they get into the site, but they're planning to play this a little bit slower. Polly peeks out. They know where she is right now, but Baby TZ is also very low, so it's gonna be difficult for X10 to get this round. But at the same time, Bren is respected. Oh, a shot through the smoke. They're able to get Polly.
Wait. And just
30
off of those
seconds left.
frags, look at what they're doing. Mid-round adjustment, and all of a sudden they decide to rotate all the way onto the A site. X10F are recognizing this, but surely they won't be fast enough, and at the same time, they don't have the best guns. Nailing the headshot, though, that could be a free upgrade. Baby DZ making sure that
10
no one
seconds
else
left.
rotates over from the middle. Now, possibly setting up a bit of a flank, but you do have that one lurker up over by Tree. That
One enemy
could be
remaining.
extremely deadly. Alexi gets Ginny down. All that's left is this 5 HP player.
7 bullets on the
Cannot
Phantom.
possibly do much. Oh no. Can't even really reload. Baby DZ, what more can you do? Walks up to the top of window, and Alexi, just all too predictable for this Ultra Mega Mind KO. 9-8. Bren are still in the game, and this could go even worse.
Yeah, they're definitely finding their stride here. Even though they lost a few here and there, the last 3 rounds have been great for them. Off of 2 clutches from Zinni, off that was building up an economy, and right now they have a slight lead, 9-8 right now.
Here.
Oh boy. Well, at the very least, X10F gets to buy back. If they want to make a stand, now is the time to do it. Otherwise, economy's going to be broken yet again. Viper's pick comes up over by A. That's a heavy commitment. Bren just completely ignore it and are looking to execute into the B side. If 2 players up over by Dark, if they don't do anything to stop this push from going through, that's it. Bren takes this. There goes the first frag, though. Polly's doing her job, anchoring down. Unfortunately, the trades happen yet again. Alyssa falls. And now Bren has the site. It's an even exchange. 3v3
Spike
now.
planted.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long rotation from Baby TZ, but Muffin is gonna
Okay.
find a first kill. 2v3 right now. They're waiting for the rest of the team to come in together.
All right. Oh, Baby TZ's got to be a little bit faster, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to be Muffin and Ginny.
It's taking forever, pretty much, but they're gonna know that Ali's there. Nice flash from
Oh.
Ginny. Great support, and really recognizing that they're there because of the knife. And it's gonna be down to Shirazi.
Uh-oh.
Flash again. That was all Ginny.
Great team support coming through, along with Muffin to follow up. X10F, they tie this up once more.
That was all pop flash after pop flash, and no one has been able to break this deadlock. Polly
Planted.
holding on to fort here. Muffin getting the first kill, and look at this. Pop flash into kill. The exact same thing happens here. Flash even has a snake bite for extra measure. Into the kill. And right now, Bren and X10F neck and neck. Since the first half, 6-6, now 9-9. It's just so difficult.
feel
No
it.
one's breaking the deadlock.
I feel it, Marquis. I'm calling it. Let's go overtime.
Oh, the flash again, but no,
Oh
it's
my
not
god!
enough.
Poison is suddenly going aggressive, but Bren just holding it down with Sheriffs and Spectres. You also have Shirazi with a Marshal once more. They're making sure they're holding this slight default, and it's working out.
Almost a team kill.
Baby TC down for she again. Definitely almost, and she has no choice but to back off. Hasn't really used her main utility yet. Well, Poison Cloud does go up, though. Blocks off the A site. And Bren, they still have the numbers advantage. This is technically, well, not technically, this is almost a 4v2 if you consider the fact that Baby TC is 5 HP.
Yeah, and they might not have the big guns, but they do have the aim, and any gun can be a big gun. You just hit a headshot anyway.
Exactly, right? So, just gonna want to be a little bit more careful about the positioning. Bren, possibly making the wrong read. Trying to rotate in towards A now. There are 3 players on the other side of this thing. Null command comes out. Maybe they could still make the adaptation to pull this into a fake.
Yep, it's probably going to be a fake. There's a null command coming out. It's just slowing things down. Might be able to kill.
Oh, Alexi, stay alive.
Yeah, and it's clear.
10 seconds
100%
left.
Plant
clear.
goes into B. Gotta play with the timing, though. They know that Alexi's presence is still felt towards A main. And she is trying to stall them for as long as possible. Unfortunately, she's going to beat Ginny. Well, okay. All the way, long rotations, playing it safe. Ginny's trying to cut her off up over by the lobby, though. Meanwhile, the rest of the 3 players are just anchoring down the site itself. Ginny gets it. And here comes the retake. They've got about, what, like 25-ish seconds left. Starting to stream in through now. The timer is ticking. Zinni is good. She gets the Spectre sprays. And there's the second one. Shirazi to follow through as well. Oh, no. This was a half buy. This was a half buy, and Bren won it.
It's just, they punish X10 for pushing forward, and they just weren't ready for that. And they took the guns, the headshots. The Hunter's Fury as well, doing a little bit of damage, but Bren, against all odds, were able to win this round.
I might just change my tune. Or I was feeling an overtime, but now looking at X10's economy and off a play like that, they were punished and punished heavily. Bren now, if they win this round, economy starts to build up. X10 comes in with a full buy on the next. This is going to be so painful. Even then, pushing out, they're getting way too eager. Bren are just getting kills for free. Sight for free too, but oh, Muffin from the back. It's an arcane sheriff, and she finds 1 headshot. A little bit of damage, and there's a little bit of morale boost as well. Spike gets planted now, and Bren, all they really need to do is to hold this down, and look at the amount of sky smokes. Positions are set up.
It's just ready for this. This might be the break to the deadlock. There's no guns really. Oh, through the floor too. No guns really on X10's side, and Shirazi is just gonna clean up shop. 11-9. Finally break the deadlock.
It's broken. And along with it, X10's momentum. Hopefully not their faith. However, Bren, they stand at the precipice of going into match point. They're pulling out all the stops now. Muffin with the operator still on the defense. If there's any time to do it now. Now is the time.
Yeah, they need to land these shots. So this is a big bet. It's a 4.7k investment. After this, they probably don't have enough creds.
Oh!
Misses the shot. Oh my gosh. Bren
Terrible.
are gonna take advantage of this. They get that information already. Muffin is an A short. They know that.
Look at that. Even pretty much affirmed that there won't be a repeat. They're walking down in towards market. Gaining a little bit more freedom. They can push down into spawn or just straight through market in towards B. Sky smoke goes off, and that is the signal. They're going into B for sure. Blocked it off completely, and there is that incendiary to deny area as well. They get the site practically for free. And you know what this means, Marquis? 5v5 retake, and you have an operator? Not good.
not good at all. And Bren, they even have the post plants set up already. They're already on lobby. They already have 3 on site. It's just a comfortable plant for them. There's no one that's not there yet. There's even a nano swarm coming in to support. Oh, there's the lockdown as well. How do you even destroy this lockdown? Do you have a lineup for this, Ginny? I doubt
I don't
it.
think so. At the very least, this is what Bren wants. They want to secure 12. So that even if they lose the remaining rounds, they go into overtime. A lot of this utility has been spent, but here comes X10. They've got the Cosmic Divide, they've got the frags, but they don't expect Zinni to be over by B main. Shirazi there to help out as well. Up in the bottom of Zark, they do not have any more time. And there it is, 12 to 9. Bren has secured, at the very least, overtime.
Match point.
Great play from Bren, using the
Oh my
lockdown,
goodness.
recognizing that X10 don't have a chance. Sure, they take everyone down.
Oh my
but
God,
who's at the
Marquis.
real loss here? Exactly. This is what I was gonna say.
Economy. Oh.
Economy. The real losers here are X10 because even though they get all 5 members of Bren, doesn't matter because they got spike gold, they get win round bonus. While X10
Dude.
have to just eat up the max loss bonus, which is not enough.
This is now check. If you don't move out, it's gonna be checkmate. X10F. Are there any more tricks up your sleeves? You've got the judge. You're changing up in terms of positions. But once more, match point. The commitment into that retake was a little bit too heavy for them. And this could be it. Bren setting up for the A take now.
Slow this time around. Okay, the attack. Oh, the judge! Just a bit much. They're able to get one gun away, and this just might be enough. If Muffin is going to be able to get her hands off that. Oh, there's an offensive utility! Offensive utility is just too much. Again, flushing corners the moment they get information. Oh, but Ginny and Muffin gonna get those kills. They do have that Vandal on Muffin. Oh, and they can't shut her down. And it's all down to Ali right now. 1v4 gets flashed again. Oh, she gets a kill.
Not impossible.
It is definitely not impossible. We've seen 1v3s happen before.
30
Swings
seconds
out.
left.
She doesn't have the spike with her though.
She's going for those frags then. Closes the door at the very least now.
There's no time.
Enemy remaining.
1, 2. Oh my lord! She might get it, but she realizes, oh no, I don't have the spike, and Polly is gonna kill her. But that was really scary. I don't think she even realized she didn't have the spike then.
Yeah. She was in the zone possibly and just kind of forgot about it. A little bit of tunnel
I think
vision,
at the
but
last point, when she climbed onto the site, she
second,
realized,
please.
oh, I can't
gotta
plant.
visit the
Wait a
Asphalt
minute,
place some
Spike's not with
sauce.
me. Which is why she actually jumps down. Okay, great call for this timeout. They just need one more round. They have
I want to see that spray though. That phantom spray into the double kill. That was amazing.
Oh, we skipped it. Sag.
Whatever. Moving on. Timeout getting called by Bren now. 12 to 10. They could still close this out. They could still prevent overtime.
Yeah, definitely. Bren, they still have a bit of a runway. They got the money. I think they should have enough credits to full buy this round. And in this timeout, I think they just need one good execute. Pull out one strategy. Okay, it looks
was
like
so
they're
close.
pinging. Do you see them in the map? They're
Yeah,
pinging mid
middle.
control.
X10F though, I don't know. That was one hell of a trick. The judge that they had, the one initial frag, and all of a sudden bulldogs from Muffin as well as Ginny, that was enough. Unfortunately, is it going to be enough to carry them on through to overtime? Economy doesn't look too good. Some on light shields, yes, a couple of rifles, but also specters and judges again. No way that same trick works twice. I don't believe that Bren will head into A through A main anymore. And I just don't see how Baby TZ is going to be effective now. Viper's Pit comes up, sure, but Bren's again just going to ignore that completely.
Yeah, and I think that if you're committing to Viper's Pit, you probably shouldn't be committing to KO there. Because she's a redundancy. Although I kind of get why. But when you're facing Bren, you kind of need to make a bet.
Oh, yeah. It's just, that's that what if, you know? This is where the pressure starts to sink in.
Oh, but it looks like they are going to A.
Oh my goodness. Bren?
It's probably gonna go A short.
Placing swarm
This is
grenade.
what a lot of teams like to do.
Swarm
They
grenade out.
go behind the
Yeah.
pit, and going behind the pit renders Viper useless, more or less. So if they are successful with this, it might just work out. But that's a judge in the Viper's pit. That's a snake with a gigantic shotgun.
Snake in the grass. And at the same time, you got a KO outside of that grass as well. That's outside of the Viper's pit. KO is basically Viper's hard counter if you can land the suppression.
30 seconds left.
There it goes, though. Recon all getting called out. 30 seconds left. You've got to execute right now. Bren diving straight into it. They walk into her.
The
The judge! Double kill! Spike gets dropped,
remaining.
and she's still alive. Denies Alexi too. All that's left is Allie, and she's separated. Cannot really find much. Gets the first Phantom Spray, but does not expect a second player to be coming in from tree. 12-11. How does Bren's economy look now, Marquis?
Pretty bad. I think it's pretty bad. Okay, it is. In fact, it's
dirt
terrible.
poor. Oh gosh, they've gone from princesses to paupers. This is very much so over time.
The funny part here is they might still take this round anyway.
Possible.
I feel like they're gonna go rush B, and they're gonna take control over that. Mikasa is probably gonna be able to pop the Blade Storm, and all of a sudden everyone's dead.
I don't think they're gonna be able to win off of that though, but let's see what happens. Drones out, and they slowly walk on through. You got quite a bit of presence from Market though, and that could be very painful as well. Dashing right in, Mikasa closes the door, and they will be able to get the spike planted. Doesn't matter though, because now it's match point. It's gonna be the full retake, and I believe in X10F and their retakes. Ginny starts things off.
Here.
Got the kill through his smoke there.
Okay.
It's gonna be a difficult hold right now. They only have the Spectres. And
Unless you time this out.
yeah. Oh, there's a
Oh
timing.
my!
Nowhere to run.
Okay, instant trades. Hunter's Fury now. Oh, that's good. Zinni just trying to block them off. Shoots just a little bit more. And X10F are slowly making their way in. They want to be careful about this. The Spectres are still going close range. No way. Shirazi, Muffin doing quite a bit of damage as well. Goes back in from the other side, and they have done it. X10F pushes us in overtime. They secure the defuse. For sure. And now what?
Man, it was really close still. Bren,
sides.
even without
Overtime.
guns, they find a way. It was pretty close, but wow, we're going to overtime. Everything's just been reset. Whatever lead the Bren ever had is just completely reset now. It's now a win by 2. Now I actually think X10 might take this.
They could. It really looks like they're starting to figure something out. Or at least on their defenses as well. Bren is a little bit more afraid, especially to push in towards areas like A main. So far, the only way that Bren has really made their way onto sites is through executes. If those executes get denied, if those executes get blocked off by smokes, by judges, they don't really know how to break in.
They should just go to the other side, to be honest. I'm not sure why they attempted to push at Viper's Pit. Or at least they could use the mollies, the grenades to clear that portion of the Viper's Pit that was close to them. But they basically got wrecked by a judge.
Launching smoke.
And that's if they lose this map, they would be reflecting off that execute.
Well, there it is. Here we go. First round of overtime, and X10F are on the attacking side. They're making their way with the mid control that they've gotten in towards an A split. Quite the number of killjoy utility though, and Muffin just immediately dashes right over. The A site is completely open, and this is where Bren sets up for their retake. I'm not sure if I like this.
What?
Oh, Alyssa!
Sova.
They just lined up for her double headshots, and Ali answers back. Not too even though.
A little bit low HP on Muffin, but Bren are at a numbers disadvantage. They're gonna have to land some really sick shots. They don't even have damage utility anymore. There's a poisoning cloud coming out as well. They can't find these kills. They have to go now.
Timer is ticking. Just about 20 seconds left. One player under hell, and Shirazi will connect. Unfortunately, though, they haven't quite cleared Jinny, who's right around the Jenny. Zinni loses the duel. And there it is, X10.
She changed guns.
Switching sides.
I
Match point.
can't tell you. Ran out of ammo, maybe.
Maybe, potentially. But there's no time there to even change guns or reload. They just needed to go in.
Couldn't really defuse either, but oh no.
No more so.
X10F, they're starting to figure it out.
Bren, for all the hard work they've had, X10Crit have clawed back.
Now here it comes. Defense for X10. Bren love to go in for executes. And they love to play that EU-esque style of slowly clearing out and getting information. Do you think that they can do it again?
I'm not entirely sure because X10F, they seem like they're starting to find their groove, starting to get those retakes properly.
A little bit of map control has been garnered. Every player on rifles now. Whoa, that's tiny gap, and that's just enough to take Muffin down 46 HP. No choice but to back off now, and surely they know that this is going to be a B execute from Market, from main. The only players here to stop Muffin from spawn through the cloud burst still gets it, even though blinded. Polly finds one onto Alexi. Players in towards the back of Boathouse now. I don't know if Bren can actually take her down. Alyssa still alive, still kicking. She is dishing out the hurts. No way you get the spike planted at this stage. And all that's left is Zinni. 1v2.
She's clutched so many rounds already. If she clutches this, it was a 1v3. She took one down already. If she clutches this yet again, it'll be a miracle. But right now, she knows where both of them are. They're just not peeking, and she doesn't have the time. She needs to swing out right now. She needs to drop down, get this first kill, fakes.
Oh no.
But oh no.
Defenders win.
In towards Boathouse. It's a shot in the dark. She does not realize where the final player could be hiding. Unfortunately, but also successfully for X10F, they have prevented themselves from getting eliminated, and on towards the third map we go.
Yeah, they finally started figuring things out, and I'm so excited for this because we're seeing Icebox. I think first time today, and I want to see this map because this map can be one of the swingiest maps ever, especially for the attackers. Now I want to see these two teams were 2-0ing each other since Open 1. It was 2-0 for X10, 2-0 for X10, and then for Open 2 it was 2-0 for Bren, and now we're going to a Game 3. This is our first Game 3 for today as well. Games were close, but it's the first time it's going to a Game 3. And we're going to see the scoreboard real quick because, wow, Muffin really showed up. Zinni was the clutch one this game, and with Mikasi actually seemingly struggling in this map, we might see a substitution again because it seemed to have worked out for them the previous series when Twirly came in for Mikasi.
On bigger maps too, Icebox could be one of those, but I think I'd like to think that Mikasi still provided quite a bit of utility and impact just by dashing around. But whatever it is, this was insanely close. You talked about it. This is one of the first series, at least for today, that has actually gone to 3 maps. And even then, comparing to the previous times that these two teams have faced off against each other, it used to be 2-0s. Now that it's a 3-map series, it just shows how much they've grown. I mean, Bren has started to climb up, and after knocking X10 down, X10 have started to fight back. This is getting intense, and I just can't imagine how Icebox is going to go.
I just have a lot of memories of X10 playing Icebox, not so much Bren. So,
Not so much Bren.
Yeah, and don't forget that this is I believe X10's pick, and Bren chose this side, which is attacking first.
Well, we shall see. For the meantime, we will head in towards the highlights just to take a look at the crazy game that we just had. 14-12 once again. X10F really starting to figure out all the nooks and crannies of how Bren starts to execute. and able to recover on the defense, able to find ways to execute, honestly. And it's just Bren's playstyle starting to become a little bit too passive, perhaps.
Yeah, might have been spooked.
Enemy remaining.
X10 just really showing up. Muffin, of course. She had these many moments, yeah, exactly like this one. Just holding W, looking for those kills. Zinni with the clutches just wasn't enough for a team. And again, Muffin, Zinni, this is the two rounds in a row for her. But X10 started finding their footing. Even though Bren seemed like they reached match point a lot earlier on, X10 just said no, we were sending this to overtime and won both rounds of overtime. Again, Muffin pushing forward non-stop. This double headshot from Alyssa as well. That one really was the one that brought it to overtime.
Enemy
It's
remaining.
honestly so close, and again, just when it comes down to it, Bren, I don't know if it's luck or just not really able to adapt back to whatever X10F had, but there we have it. You know, X10F are able to play still and possibly maintain their top 3 spot in towards these brackets. But for now, we're gonna head into a quick break because it has been a long day, long games for the players as well. Or after that, we're gonna see how they fare on the Icebox. And welcome back, folks. This is it. Tournament point for both teams in the lower bracket round 3. Bren Esports Victress versus X10F after one of the longest games that we've had so far in this open. 14-12 on Ascent. And now we are going in towards Icebox. Hey, I'm Quack, and this is Marquis. What's gonna happen next? You tell me.
I'm not too sure. Both teams seem like they're so evenly skilled. And here's the thing though. If you're counting Open 1 and Open 2, X10Crit are in the lead in terms of series. They won 2 series. Bren won the most recent series, which was earlier in this Open 2. But we're going to Icebox. Again, chosen by X10Crit, but side was chosen by Bren. So they want to go into this with attack. And let's see how this pans out. Will they be doing a substitution? Will there be some funky agent picks here? I'm not too sure because Icebox really attacker-sided map. Let's see what both teams can bring to the table this time. We've seen so many comebacks here. We've seen Paper Rex come back from a gigantic deficit here.
Yes.
We've seen I believe it was 100 Thieves as well, but that was a while back. Icebox may have changed, but the nature of Icebox is still pretty similar.
Relatively, I suppose. It's a little bit easier for attackers to peek out and whatnot, and defenders still get to really anchor down sites. But like you said, this could come down to the agents, and honestly, well, I think we can expect a Viper, but I'm hoping for something weird, something
Neon.
interesting. Yes.
Something colorful. Something electrifying, you could say.
Yeah, I would say. We've seen teams do crazy things, like Forsaken on Neon, just one example. But between these two teams and the way that they play so far, it's a lot more team oriented. It's not as crazy fast paced. You might have a certain kind of feeling that Bren might go for something a little bit more common, and they love to play that execute heavy style. X10F on the other hand, a little bit more versatile, and they have that adaptability that Bren so far not really showing yet. I think this is where if Bren starts to lose steam, they could get knocked out.
For sure, and it looked like they were losing steam, especially towards the tail end of Ascent, because they had the lead for the longest time. I think it was about 12-10 towards the very end, and then all of a sudden X10 just started figuring things out, and then won 4 rounds in a row to secure the map. I think Bren was really hoping to put X10 out of the picture at that point. 12-10, they even called a timeout, like, we need to win this. But they didn't, and X10 they have the momentum on their side. They just came back. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deficit. Like, they were 6-6. It came down to 9-9, and then suddenly it looked like Bren was going to run away with the game all the way to 12-10. And all of a sudden, X10Crit was like, nope, we got it all figured out. Download complete. And we're going to win overtime.
Download complete. And that's really one of the reasons why they won. Icebox is, quite frankly, I feel like it's going to be a different story. I mean, it's X10F's pick. Bren picks the side. If we take a look at stats, Bren doesn't really have the numbers on Icebox. They don't play this map too often. Meanwhile, a team like X10F, they play it quite a bit. They've played it about 7 times so far. And out of those 7 times, they've won 6. I don't think they're about to start losing. Unless Bren has some kind of a plan, unless they really show that they have this preparedness, especially on a map like this. It's gonna be a different story from Ascent, to say the least.
Yeah, it's a different lineup as well than I expected. I thought Twirler was going to be in, but it's going to be Mikasi on the Raze, which I don't actually favor in Icebox, but it's going to be a double duelist lineup from Bren. They're bringing it back. Alexi on the Jet this time.
Okay. Not something that's too foreign for her, but at the same time, something that we haven't seen quite a bit. Meanwhile, a little bit of a double sentinel setup being pulled out by X10F. The chamber, possibly a pseudo duelist as well, is getting deployed into this map now. I mean, what do you think, Marquis? What are we thinking here?
I like chamber on Icebox. I think that's the natural evolution of the agent selection pick. It's gonna gear towards chamber on the bigger maps, and I'm surprised that Bren are running Raze instead of say Arena, which works pretty well in Icebox because the Leer kind of helps you get into the site as well. I guess the Raze can also work out. We've seen some teams run it as well, but it's not my favorite. Not my favorite pick.
Okay, fair enough. But again, knowing how execute heavy Bren are, I could see why they would still want that raise. You know, throw in paint shells and satcheling in for mobility. The Jet is a little bit more of a, well, I don't want to say wild card, but a little bit more of this versatile agent that they can use to play around with mobility. Meanwhile, the rest of it is a little bit more cookie cutter. Viper, for example. So it really comes down to how these different playmakers in the team start to stake their claim. If they don't perform, I think this is where you start to see a team lag behind.
Yeah, I agree. It's just Mikasi. We'll have to see if she can show up. I think that she needs to step up for them to win Icebox. The previous map, she didn't really work out so well, but again, it's as you mentioned, that Jet, it just might be to attract attention. Like, Bren was successful, even when she was on Raze, even when she was in Jet, they were finding her frags. It's not always on your duelist to get all the frags, but we know that Mikasi can pop off. We know that she could just light up the scoreboard, and that's what I want to see from her.
And that's exactly what we're looking out for. At the very least, hyping it up. Here we go. Round 1 starting in about 30 seconds. Bren on the attack, X10 on defense. This is a team, X10, that has practiced quite a fair bit on Icebox. And once more, with such an incredibly sharp player, a sharp sniper like Baby TZ, as she's known to do, this is her domain. This is where she performed incredibly well last year in FSL Elite. She could do the same thing again, unless Bren has come up with some kind of a plan. They're instantly going in for a fast A execute.
And it looks like they're just gonna run in. Are they gonna have their way though? As the recon bolt comes in, immediately gets denied. They do detect police. There's the wall coming out, but there's two members on the side, on the other side of that wall. But Mikasi says, no, I'm definitely gonna show up on this map. Immediately gets 2 kills, pushes forward by herself. Baby TZ not hitting those shots. Only 1 bullet left on the chamber off this chamber.
Still we're gonna have to wait around just to find a favorable angle. Meanwhile, the rest of the Bren squad entirely healthy. Even Mikasi only down to about 48. She's playing it real close and personal too. The rest of the team now walking up front. Ran out of bullets, and unfortunately that is where the bullets start to hurt. It's gonna be Bren that starts to look for that last player, and snapping onto her head, Mikasi. A triple kill in this first round, and she's only 5 points away from her ultimate.
We were talking about this just right before this round. We need her to step up, and step up she did. Just held that W key, killed everyone, and Bren off to a blazing hot start on this map. They just took control over that A site. They now have the Spectres. It's going to be an anti-eco round for them. I don't foresee X10Crit getting this, but look at Muffin though. She has the Sheriff in hand.
I'm just looking to dish out a little bit more damage. We're looking at Bren, oh my gosh, they're just... Hold W, let's run into A.
Yeah, there's no stopping them right now. There's a little bit of a slow. That's kind of slowing them down a little bit. But, oh, they're going to find those kills. Alexi dashes in. There's a nade as well. Offensive utility. So Alexi from the skies as well.
So good. This is why they got Makasi on the raid. And then Shirazi to be the flank guard. A double kill already. Last player there, and she knows it as well. Goes back in for the swing. Finds the easy spray. 2-0. And this is a flawless win for Bren.
She even gets a Sheriff, so she can use the Sheriff to kind of start this round. And on X10, they used quite a bit of utility to try and stop that. So Alyssa and Ginny, they're gonna have to light armor. Bren, I think that if they go A again, they just might be able to get this round. But but X10F, they're actually stacking 3 members on A this time.
Interesting. Well, the past 2 rounds have been A executes, but seemingly as this is the full buy round for X10, surely Bren has a different strategy. Oh nope, stagger active. They
Just go.
Continue to rush in towards A, Unga Bunga, and they are looking to stop them in their tracks. X10F though, dumping utility, have managed to stall and hold them off.
Yeah, they're taking their time. They're probably gonna wait a little bit before they execute again. X10, they're not pushing out forward this time. They know that they can't afford to lose these rifles early because that gives Bren a fighting chance. Now Bren,
Right here.
they've already gotten a Sova to rotate out, so there's only 2 members left on the A site. There's no dash on Jet, so they have to do this a little bit slower than they're used to. But he's just gonna hold W anyway. Just strafe into the site. But Shirazi gets his first kill. Muffin gets taken down with that snake bite. Baby TZ though is hiding in that corner, but she might just get peeked. She's not ready. Oh,
Whoa.
did you see Mikasi? Yes, she did.
planted.
Headshot for
Wow.
Baby TZ.
Well, that evens up the odds. But the spike still has been planted, and Bren can just set up for post-plant positions. The Spectre still doing so much damage, though. She updrafts up top. Baby TZ starting to get a little bit inquisitive. She goes in from the other side. Shirazi has to back off. Swaps to the Sheriff.
One
Still
enemy remaining.
not really quite connecting the shots, but Ali does finish it off. Down to Baby TZ now, and she's only got about maybe 15-ish seconds left.
No,
I don't
there's
know if
no
she has
time.
enough. And she's just gonna die to the sides. Bren! Fast A executes, they don't even care, and they get free weapon upgrades. Bonus win!
It's a bonus round win. They get 2 free upgrades. It's just free all over. They did not know what to do. Bren played it to perfection. They only had Spectres, and they knew that. And because they knew that, they only played towards the nest. They played up and down the nest. They played around the nest. And X10, they couldn't find a break in the armor.
Not yet, not at least. I'm kind of hoping that they might start to figure it out, but right now it's just not really coming in yet. So off of that loss, they're going to have to go off of another eco, and we currently have a technical pause. So we do appreciate your understanding. Sometimes these things happen because player calves run out of battery or whatnot. Some of them are using their phones. But still, this is a 3-0. This is a perfect start for Bren.
Yeah, it's such a great start for X10. They know they had the last pick. The last pick is typically you pick between the last 2 maps. But Bren, they look, oh my god, so ready. Alexi already getting the opening frag. Running into B, gets Polly as well, and they're just running in. Alexi already with 3 kills. Is this gonna be an ace? Because she's hunting for it. She's just running in and she's like, I want this ace. I already have 3. It's an anti-eco. I'm gonna go get this ace.
Spike planted. Last player
I know,
standing.
Mikasi, no.
Uh-oh. Got a little bit greedy, but still. The team cleans it up regardless. A little bit of a penguin dab to finish things off. 4-0 now, and Bren is still going on.
And they saved 4 guns
Player
there.
standing.
Alexi. Maybe she's happy that she's playing a duelist this time around because she's been playing what, the KO. What was she playing the previous round? Was it trying to recall here? But now she's on Jet and she's like, it's like she's been unlocked.
She's used to be playing KO quite a bit for the past 2 maps, I believe. And right now it's still just incredibly strong. Even has her Blade Storm. Makasi unfortunately gets eliminated though, so Hate shells won't be as effective this round. Now Bren has to find a slightly different approach to what they've had from the previous rounds. The executes won't be as strong anymore.
Yeah, for sure. -1 player, but still don't count them out because they've been known to tear it up no matter what. So we'll see if they can actually still get the site. There's an operator on the A side though, so it's going to be so difficult. There's the Blade Storm being popped.
Well, feels like they want to just brute force into this site the same way that they've done it. And Alexi eliminating that operator makes it so much easier for a team now. Viper's Bit comes up, and although there might be a slower right in front of them, they can still possibly go in for that spike plant. Alexi from the sides will protect her teammate. Oh no! Unfortunately, walk past Ginny though. I think there was Baby TZ around the side as well, and this is where X10 can come back into the game. Unfortunately, Ali denies that right, and Polly's the only one left. Spike planted right by the corner. She tries to stick it, but there are 2 players right in front of her, hunting her down. They've got the crosshair placement. It's a perfect headshot and a perfect 5-0 win streak.
5-0 right now for Bren. It is perfect so far. They were at a disadvantage, 4v5 there, but they still made it work. They didn't see Ginny. Ginny was able to get 2 kills, but they still made it work.
They don't even want that operator at the end as well. Not necessary. We are attacking. It was such an attempt from X10F, but my goodness, they can't. Whatever it is, they're not able to defend and not able to retake either. Oh, Bren are just going in so fast.
Yeah, they're alternating between mid to B. Oh my gosh, no whiffed shot. If that shot hit, that might have been doom for Bren, because this low field will come out. Oh, Ginny with the Sheriff. Mikasi gets taken down. If they can recover this Vandal, it will be good for them. But Muffin just gets taken down, swatted like a fly. And Invisible Gun right now. Invisible Gun gets a no-scope.
There it is.
Poison's off.
Loving the invisible gun, the invisible bullets. Of course, the sudden double scope from earlier on. It's just a little bit unfortunate. Whatever it is, Bren are starting to recover, headed in towards the A site, but do they expect one player just perched up the top? They finally spot her, and that's where Ginny loses her head. Polly coming down from the bottom too, though, dishing out quite a bit of damage, but oh my goodness, still with the numbers advantage. They swing, they find the shots. 6-0 now, Marquis. 6-0.
Okay, finally a timeout. I think 4-2-0 is a good timeout time, but clearly Bren are just running over X10, and they can't let this get away from them. You know, it is very attacker-sided. I'll give them that, but you don't want a big fat 0 on your side, and Bren look like they're in control every single point of this game so far. Even though they're at the disadvantage, they know what they want to do, they know what they can achieve, and they just achieve it anyway.
Man, I'm trying to figure out what's going wrong with X10, but that round was a little bit of firepower. The other rounds, it's just the executes from Bren, which are, first of all, incredibly fast. When they go in for it, they just go in for it without a care in the world. Mid to B or straight into A. Even though they lose players in the process, or maybe if they lose one player off in the early parts of the round, they just slow down for a little bit, and then they recover.
Yeah, it's definitely the recovery that's the scariest part of this. Even though Muffin had the operator as well, I think it was 2 rounds before this, it just didn't work out so well, right? And then the op comes out again. She might be able to get a pick yet again, but Bren, they have the res, so they can't afford to lose one. Oh, Alexi, great movement there. Oh, now they know there's the op there. The missed shot, that's the biggest part of the operator, right? If you miss one shot, you're immediately forced out of your position. You don't get that surprise kill anymore. And she's flushed out all the way to the back of the site.
And you've told me this before as well. On certain parts of the map, when you are forced to retreat, when you're relegated to the back, that weakens your position as an operator. Whatever it is, though, right now, oh, Alexi predicts that first spot, gets the second headshot as well. This could have just opened up the A site, and along with a showstopper, oh, it is blown way past open. X10, how do they really recover off of this? Only 2 players left, and they go in for peaks now, getting shot down. It's all up to Polly in a 1v3. Spike getting planted just means that it's so much more difficult as they can set up for all of these crossfires, these close plant positions.
Why did she switch guns? She had more bullets on the other one.
Man, sometimes you just want that skin.
Yeah, Sentinels of
yeah.
Light. I can completely understand. This is the best skin in the game, but she
Let
only
him
had
have
10
it,
bullets.
Marquise. Don't judge.
Don't
Well,
judge. These are Vandals after all, but 7-0 for Bren right now. They still have the res. They still have the Hunter's Fury. That timeout didn't pan out for X10.
My goodness, 7-0. This is.
Oh, Alexi though, that was wild. Corner Eagle peaks the operator, dashes into the site, even gets the chamber to boot.
And again, it starts off because you pushed that operator off of her initial position. She was meant to stay hidden. Because she fired a shot, because the drone spotted her, she had to back off into a more common position, which I guess Alexi just knows how to deal with. Poison Cloud comes out now, but look at the speed at which Bren are just executing onto the side, dashing on towards the top of yellow. And Alyssa cannot react in time. She's dumped 2 of her slow orbs.
Oh
And now
my
they've gotten the
god.
side. Oh, Shirazi with a lurk. It's disgusting.
It's the Nats lurk. Stopping the rotation. The spike is down. They don't have the guns. Shirazi, does not get a second one, but immediately runs towards her team. She wants to join her team now.
Toxin screen down.
That's one of the things I hate when you play deathmatch and then someone just goes to hide at the back of spawn. It's a crosshair thing, but here comes. They're still trying to retake. They set up the wall. They could just go in for the
the
stuff.
spray.
Unfortunately, the snake bite is there. And here it comes now. The sprays. They're just dumping everything that they possibly have. No way that you have time anymore. And Bren have secured yet another win. The rifles are good.
That's just
Oh my god.
pretty wild right now for Bren. Everything is going their way. They still have the rest in their pocket as well. They're just
I
doing
am-
everything.
I'm stunned. What is this 8-0 for a team that has hardly played Icebox at all this entire open to suddenly show up and come up with a win streak like this against the team that is touted to be the top second.
They're flushing out the operator yet again. Oh, they actually find a kill. Oh my god, Alexi on the jet. Can we just have her on the jet for longer? Because this is crazy. Like, she plays the KO really well, but on the jet, she's just absolutely insane. Bren's pacing has changed so much when she's changed to this jet.
Defeated.
It's a force multiplier. Earlier on, I mean, they weren't like entirely slow. They had their moments where they could go switch up the pace if they wanted to. But all of a sudden, with the addition of this jet, it's just adrenaline boost, and they fly in. Ridiculous, extreme speeds. But here it comes now. Shirazi from the sides. They don't really clear it out. And X10, they need a mental reset. This is not working out.
Teams have 2 timeouts
Yes.
in regulation. Overtime, you get another one. But since this is still regulation, I think maybe not this round, maybe the next, you're going to have to call that timeout, because I think that 10-2, we've definitely seen teams come back from that.
Yeah.
Because this is an attack-sided map after all. But
10
if they go 12-0, I don't think that's comebackable.
No, you don't call a timeout at 12-0. That's too many rounds. Call it earlier. Prevent, not.
Oh gosh!
Oh my goodness.
Muffin?
Starting things out though, but she gets denied. And Alexi now it's her time to shine. Wait, well, okay. Well, she just throws it all over the place.
Okay.
Excuse me?
I shoot in your general direction and I get 2 kills.
What are these players doing? I am speechless.
think she just wanted to try and clear nest with the blades. So she updrafts, use the blades. She doesn't need the blades because she has a gun. So that's an option as well. You can mid-air clear a corner. Didn't pan out, but that was the idea basically.
This is ridiculousness. And now they just walk up using the Viper's Pit. There's so much space now. Even
Aw,
with the shorty, oh my
shorty!
god, Shirazi! Ginny has no idea what hit her, and that cannot feel good. Baby TC on the top. Alyssa coming in from the back, and it just doesn't work because every single one of these angles are locked down. Is it time to call a timeout? I think it is, but judging by how these players feel, I don't know.
Gosh, dying to a shorty in a Viper's Pit. Oh dear lord. And Alexi getting those kills through the smoke, through the walls. It's just too much, Bren.
I feel I'm just enjoying this a little bit too much. Bren are unstoppable.
Alexi and Shirazi combined have more kills than the entire X10Crit roster right now.
Oh no. X10, that slow orb was a little bit early. I don't know why. Sure, you get to push up front, but surely you expect a lurker as well, considering how many times Shirazi has been doing that.
Oh,
They
Muffin,
need-
let's go off the angle.
Oh no. I feel like they need a little bit more utility to stall these executes, to stall these pushes, but Bren, they just get free reign. I mean, look at how they get to walk on the site for free. They find these duels, and X10 isn't really doing that much to stop them.
The timing of Shirazi,
remaining.
and it's all down to Baby
Oh
TZ,
my
1v4 right now. Bren still has a res, by the way. I haven't used it. X10 also has the res, but they can't use it.
So unfortunate. Baby TZ. She's gonna go down swinging. 24 HP now, and she's just looking for someone to peek into her.
They're not gonna peek. Bren.
My goodness. You're up by 10 rounds. Sure you don't want to peek? Just ego peek it a little bit. You know? Just go in. Go for that one tap. Do it. Nah, they're not gonna.
No. They need to save. She needs to save this gun.
Last
At
round
least
before
be
the
able to get that
switch.
vandal off to someone, drop it off, use exactly tour de force, and hopefully they go 1-11. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Hopefully? No Muffin on a Spectre, couple of light shields. X10F, man. Not quite a fan of how they're playing Icebox against Bren. They need to adapt to Bren's executes. They're kind of going for duels though. Look at Baby TZ now. Only with the Tour de Force. The trademarks not really able to stop Bren. Slow field activated, but she rendezvous away. And here comes the showstopper looking to hunt them down. Direct hit into
1 HP.
Alyssa's face. But here comes Muffin and Baby TZ, the ultimates into play. It's a 4v3. They could do something about it, but then the rest finally comes in. Not even really necessary as well. I mean, look at the rest of them all positioned around the back. They want to get that spike
What?
down, but they
Wait,
haven't really
what?
been able to do so, and I don't know, man.
How?
Sudden-
How? How does that even happen? Like, that was through smoke, but Alexi says, okay, I don't really care. I'm just gonna walk forward and kill you. The rest of Bren, though, they're already making their way to A. Oh, and it looks like Sova peaks at the most missed opportune time in Ginny.
Oh.
Okay, they know it's gonna be an A hit. Oh, but Alexi is gonna take Baby TZ down. Bren might just still take this round.
20 seconds, no players. They're
They're trying
looking
to
to
look for
eliminate Alexi. And now we're down to the 2v2. That's not too bad. This is still winnable.
Winnable. Definitely winnable. Definitely doable. But it looks like they have
Positions. They got shot darts.
post plant.
Here.
They get to play around with this so much as well. X10F are being really cautious. If
Oh, they can
you
use a Viper's Pit.
You've got a Viper's Might as well. Get a teammate to cover the entrance of the Viper's Pit too.
Yeah. I think this should be the way. They should be
Oh,
able to.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
okay. The
oh.
shock darts coming in. The bullets are coming in. Oh, the detection coming in as well.
Player standing.
Okay, Zinni gets taken down.
That's
Ali,
one.
was she able to stop this? She gets one. Has to reload
Stick
though.
in it, stick in it.
Oh, she got. Wait. She
That was
stuck
the
it.
defuse. Managed to
Switching
stick it
sides.
just by the nick of time. And 1 to 11.
One round.
Not bad.
It's-
Not bad.
It's not bad, but
Could
it's
be
not the worst.
better.
It could have been 12-0. But right now, if Bren, they don't have room for mistakes anymore. If Bren win the pistol round, it's almost impossible to get a second round. So XNF, they need to play this perfectly at this point. And Bren, what an impressive first half from them. This XNF wanted to go to Icebox, but it seemed like Bren was like, okay, sure, we'll take it. And it's just been crazy.
It's honestly surprising. I didn't think that Bren could play Icebox so well, and they proved me wrong. This is incredible to watch, and their fast executes are just, like you mentioned this before, a freight train. There's nothing that X10 are really doing to stop that. They've got some traps. They've got some interesting plays that they're trying to pull off. You know, Alyssa with the Sage Slow Orb to take control over a Garage just to push out a B. But that's not really stopping the executes.
No, not at all. I mean, they just tried so many things. But Bren had two plays in their playbook. Go A or go B,
B.
through mid. No, it's not just as simple as go A or go B.
Go be through
It's just, yeah, it's just through mid. And then somehow, even with those two plays, the timing of things, selling a little bit of a fake here and there and just executing fast, which is still a bit too much for X10. They couldn't find an answer to it. And look, we talked about Mount Everest as in going against Alter Ego Celeste with six rounds. This is 10 rounds against a team that's both teams, I would say, equally skilled, but at the same time, Bren, they look a bit stronger on this map, I'd say. You can see the fatigue a little bit from the players. They've been playing a lot of games today. Both teams had to play a series
Both
before
teams,
this, a little bit of a break, and then now it's a third game of the series. They both are tired, but it seems like Bren has a little bit more stamina, a little bit more left in the tank, because look at Alexi with the 19 kills on this Jet, and it's not all about the frags all the time,
Yeah.
but the space she's making for a team.
No one else has that same number or impact.
Exactly. And she was on the KO the last 2 rounds, and just double duelist suddenly for Bren is just surprise. We actually have a double duelist lineup, and they're so effective on it.
She truly is. I mean, the way that she's been dashing in just to break open the front lines for her team. There's just so much value, but also a cool observer looking through the tracks. But X10F on the attack now. This is it. 11-1. How do they come back into this? This pistol round is everything. And they're pressing W in towards the A site. Getting stopped by paint shells and shock darts. Oh.
Bren are really the queens of offensive utility. It's just, they use it defensively this time around. And I like this style. Like, it's just so good. The way they're stopping X10 in their tracks. X10 tried to do the same thing Bren did. Just get inside, easy. But no, it's not as easy as you think, because Bren were ready for that. Off of contact, the paint shells come out, the shock darts come in. And they just are stalled right now in A lobby.
Absolutely, a little bit more complex, and well, they have to go for duels.
Scanning ahead.
Not too sure if A site is the place to look for that. She walks straight into the Wild West, off of the zip lines, and you hear those players. Instant flicks from Muffin, and she finds a head. Polly comes back in as well. But in that process, they've been banged up, low HP now, and that allowed for Ali to push up on the sides. Even with the classic, Shirazi finds it. The classic right clicks, a triple kill. That's it.
Watching here.
It's match point, Marquis.
I'm
Match
disgusted. I'm disgusted at the right click, the jumping right click into clearing things. It's just something to behold. And
Disgusting.
look at Look at Bren. 12-1 right now. They just might even out the series. Like the amount of
Oh,
series that
no.
they're getting.
30 seconds left.
How the mighty have fallen. X10.
Spike planted.
They need to go back to the drawing board now, but have we ever seen any team anywhere throughout the entirety of VCT come back from a 12-1?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there might have been. But they lost the pistol? It seems very unlikely at this point.
It's a force buy to say the least. And even then, not the best armor. And armor is one of the most important things that you want to have in a round like this, because Spectres, it chews that up. So
Might win a
walking straight
50-50
into
though.
this, possibly. Oh, a little bit of info. They have been allowed to walk in towards A. You can bet that Bren are just looking for this retake.
For sure. They want to close it out here. They have buys as well. They have superior buys even, but 5v5 retakes are difficult, as we've talked about. So I think that X10 actually have the advantage here because none of them have taken damage. They're all healthy. The post plants are set up. And oh, there we go. A quick dink. Zinni ducks out to heal herself. Oh, the shock dart from Ali as well. Oh, Mikasi, Zinni cleaning things up. There's a defuse. Shirazi gets one. Oh, Ginny has. Oh, okay, that's gonna be GG. Bren, close it out. 13-1. I cannot believe how clean they are in Icebox.
The final moving around with the mouse. Oh my goodness, that was just 13-1. Icebox. Bren Esports Victress. I really did not expect that, but wow.
They cement top 3 yet again. They were top 3. The difference here is X10 are not in top 3 anymore. They finished 4th place, respectable still, but there clearly is some changes in how the teams play and how good some of the teams are, because Bren Victress have impressed. They took Alter Ego to 3 games. They won against X10Crit, and now between tomorrow we'll see Bren Victress go against Team SMG in the lower bracket, and one of these 2 teams will make it to the grand finals against Alter Ego Celeste. So they're gonna have to come at the Queen again, and they best not miss because SMG missed earlier today, and Alter Ego Celeste still have not been taken down. Let's take a look at the scoreboard real quick. 13-1. Bren just absolutely amazing across the board. Mikasi with the opening frags, then suddenly Alexi turning it up a different notch. You mentioned it. Changing from the initiator to a duelist, the pace of Bren is just so different. It's just like they're on Mach 5 this whole game. And Shirazi, even on the Viper yet again, really showing up for Bren, decimating them.
How many shock dart kills do we see from Ali as well? I mean, not just on this map, from Ascent as well. Both teams honestly played out of their hearts, and just Bren was a little bit more prepared, it seems like. They've studied, they've done their mappings, they figured out paths and everything. It's seemingly so perfect that every time when they execute, there really isn't much that X10F can do to slow them down. I mean, I don't really know what they could do, but X10F needs to, well, study up a little bit more now if they want to come back in to break top 3.
Yeah, I like that there's a bit of a power struggle here. There's a vacuum right now. But I really want to see Alter Ego Celeste challenge. We saw a little bit of that with Bren Victress taking them to overtime. SMG also got them really close. But we're going to see some highlights right now. It's going to be pretty much a Bren highlight because, man, 13-1 is definitely it means that it's mostly going to be Bren. Look at Shirazi with a triple kill here. Not in picture was Mikasi's double kill at the beginning. Shirazi again with a double this time around. And then Alex kill onto the Opper, kill into Baby TZ. Mikasi as well whips the spray a little bit here, unfortunately. That's just Vandal things. But it doesn't matter because Bren just locked things down. Shirazi, again, another triple. You're just getting kills left and right here. The Shorty kill as well, just absolutely crazy from Bren. Alexi, a triple of her own. They're all just getting multi-kills left and right.
Why you gotta do X10F like that, Marquis? Why you gotta why you gotta make them look bad? I'm kidding, but it's really
That
so,
kill though,
so
that
tough.
kill, that kill. What was
Okay,
that kill?
That was kind of random. It still worked. I'm not too sure, but at the end of the day, it's still Bren's story. It's 13-1, and even at the end, the Guardian shots was hilarious. I just can't believe my eyes.
They're so good. Like, it was such a close game on Ascent. Went to overtime, although it was the 1 OT. But this last game, you could tell X10 were gassed. And Bren, they were still like, okay, you gonna go for more? I can do this all day. Let's keep going.
See, this is it, right? For now, Bren, yeah, they're Captain America. I could do this all day. And they've got just, I don't know, the deepest playbook possibly. They've got a coach along with them. X10 has a coach as well, but they just weren't really able to figure out a way to play out on Icebox at the very least. They did win on Ascent, and we will give them that, but unfortunately, this is where their tournament lives will go. And I cannot imagine what's going to happen tomorrow as we take a look at the brackets fairly soon. Should I wear my SMG jersey, or do I like ask Ishan for a Bren one? Because these girls look so good.
Yeah, they've been absolutely amazing. And of course, we are down to our top 3 teams, and we are going to see that in the bracket that's going to be up on the screen right about now. As we see the brackets, the top 3, of course, Alter Ego Celeste sitting pretty on top, and in the lower bracket finals, SMG versus Bren Victress. Really interesting to see how X10 has kind of bowed out, because we've seen them always be in the grand final since they assembled under Mad Army with this roster, always giving AE Celeste a run for their money. But right now, 4th place just seems too far, a lot further than usual for them.
I'm really not sure what to say either. X10F have a lot more experience underneath their belts. They've been playing since last year. They played incredibly well in the first open, but now starting to seem like Bren is shaping up to be their nemesis, and there's so much potential for this team because of the sheer strategy that they have. So unfortunately, X10F, commiserations to them, they got knocked out, but this is what we have for tomorrow, the final day of the VCT Game Changers APAC Open number 2. The lower bracket finals, SMG versus Bren Esports Victress. And the winner of that moves forward into the grand finals, facing off against the Queens, Alter Ego Celeste.
Yeah, it's
Who do you
gonna
think
be
it's
a
going to
really
be, Marky?
interesting day. I'm honestly not
Predictions.
sure. It's pretty much unpredictable right now, because SMG's bracket, they didn't have to face between Bren or X10. Bren, though, they've had a really tough bracket. They had to fight X10. They had to fight AE Celeste, who sent them down to the lower bracket. They had to fight X10 again, and now they have to fight SMG. So SMG, I think their first top 4 opponent was, of course, AE Celeste, and they did give AE Celeste a run for the money in Haven, but Bren, though, they've improved so much. There's a little bit of recency bias here, and a little bit of SMG just walking over the teams that they're playing against. So I'm not really sure how to rank them yet, but we'll have to see that tomorrow for sure.
Okay, your PH card will not be revoked, at least not today.
No.
But we shall see. I think that's all we have for today. I mean, it's such an incredible number of series that we've had. So many aces, so many incredible, crazy frags through smokes. Do you have anything to say, Marky?
No, not too much. I'm just so happy that the teams have been improving. We're seeing that in agent selection, and every single team seems like they're getting better, and I love to see it.
Yeah, the scene is definitely growing, to say the least. I mean, we talked about it at the start of the day. All of these organizations coming in to help out, and it's really lovely to see. Thank you so much to all of these different orgs. Bren, Orangutan Esports, SMG as well, and Alter Ego, of course, for picking up Celeste. I mean, yeah, they hatched their bets pretty darn well. And with all of these things coming in, our scene continues to grow, and it's definitely something that really helps out the entire region as a whole.
Yeah, and again, don't forget, guys, this is open 2. We still have a few more opens.
Oh my
Teams
God, we still
have
have,
the
yeah.
chance to prove themselves. So again, this is VCT Game Changers APAC series. This has been open 2, and you know, come back tomorrow because you'll see a best of 3 lower bracket finals and a best of 5, and we'll see if Alter Ego Celeste get challenged for their throne. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great day and be back tomorrow.
Enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
We wanna get it crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a couple hundred bucks. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a couple hundred bucks. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, yeah. Everybody round, everybody round, we know we get hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, we know we get hype.
Spike planted. One enemy. One enemy.
We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again.